What the dog doing? Welcome back to today's stream. Audio's good, thank you. What's good is this tea and boba. Nine delicioso. Blah blah blah. Okay. Whew.
Ugh, it's about time. I was getting bored.
Oh, damn. No, damn. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, I just realized that it shows in the corner of the menu that's 24% complete. I did not know there was like a percentage. I guess maybe that's like in total of like all of the... What is it called? Maybe for like any path or all the paths. But anyways, we're gonna go... Where are we at? Right, we're gonna go back to chapter 3, day 2. Okay, it's nighttime. Whew! I don't even realize that I zoned out until I reached the edge of the Mount Victoria, right where the city streets turn into parkland.
Good thing I can find my way back from here.
I'm still within the area that I visited before, so I'll be able to use the mountain as a landmark to find my way back. I hum to myself as I turn back, head abuzz with pleasant thoughts. If I give Juliet my person's name, I'm sure she can help me track them down. That's what she specializes in, after all. And I'm sure Aspen will want to hear all about their life too. She loves stories. And I'm sure Jeongin will have a ton. I'm not sure how they'll feel about seeing me again. I doubt they ever expect it to happen. They'll definitely be surprised that I'm not just the fox they met back then, but I'm a person now. I have a feeling they'll at least be as glad as I am. I may be halfway home before I realize that I'm not alone. The prickling sensation on the back of my neck is unmistakable. My instincts are telling me that someone else is nearby. I'm still near the mountain, but it's practically empty here. I can hear the sounds of other people in the distance, but they're all hidden by the trees and hills. Ugh, excuse me. I whip my head back and forth, but try as I might, I can't work out where they are. It's a strange and disconcerting feeling, given how easily I can pick up even the smallest animals. Then, from the corner of my eye, I spot a bush slightly shuffling. Just as I turn to take a proper look, the silver fox I saw the other day steps out of it. What if that is Jeongin, huh?
Oh, it's just you.
Damn, that's so mean. Oh, it's just you. I start to bend down and reach out a hand like I would to pet a dog, but hesitate. I know from experience that a fox wouldn't respond to that. I'm surprised she hasn't run away already. That's what I would have done. She stares at me without the slightest movement, her eyes locked mine. My heart jumps at the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Something is off. Then, without taking her eyes off me, she starts to transform. Oh! I barely have time to be shocked as her arms and legs get longer, and her fur retracts, head shrinking and changing into something more human-like. For the first time in my life, I'm face to face with another Gumiho. My throat tightens and goes dry, my vision narrows, and my ears start ringing in shock. It's as if all the world has fallen away except for me and her. The silver and black clothes she wears seem to shimmer in the moonlight, like the skin of a snake waiting to strike, hanging loosely on her frame. The wrapped fabrics around her body and face make her appear almost formless. Her only accessory is a bracelet around her wrist. It's a plain leather band, but a shining white bead is held in the middle by another loop of leather. I recognize that bead. I have just one just like it. Well, almost like it. Where mine is duller, milky color, hers is so bright that it almost hurts to look at. The soft blue glow around it reminds me of the full moon. It's almost like she stepped out of the painting I just saw at the museum. A shawl covers most of her face, but her hair and eyes are still visible. those intense eyes. Her gaze reminds me of steel. While they are the same shape as mine, they're sharper, angrier, crueler. She haughtily tosses her long flowing hair back as she takes a step towards me. I skip back, keeping the distance between us. When I lived in the forest, I knew to flee when I met a predator, stronger than I was. Better to get away alive than risk my life for pride. My survival instinct tells me that this one is one of those times. The other Gumihos laugh, but there's no humor in it. Sharp and hollow, it only makes me more uneasy.
So, the human pet still knows when to run.
The human... what?
Pet. I've been watching you for a while. Ever since you came to this place, actually. Watched you demean and domesticate yourself for the sake of humans. It's pathetic.
Well, damn.
When you first arrived, I was hopeful that we might be alike. Optimistic, even. I was a fool. I see you now for what you are. Nothing better than a dog, begging for its master's affection and table scraps.
Jeez.
We are not the same. We are nothing alike.
Her words hang in the air, poisoning my good mood from just moments ago. My first instinct is to run away as usual. Something stops me, though. I'm in trance. The novelty of this experience of finally meeting another Gumiho keeps me rooted in place despite my fear. No matter what she's like, this is the closest I ever been to someone like me. I swallow the lump in my throat and hope that my voice doesn't shake as much as I think it will.
So what? Did you ambush me just to say that?
Ambush? You should have known weeks ago that I was following you. But I repeat myself. You've numbed yourself to your instincts and your potential. I saw you in that place of memories. Saw you gaze upon the portrait of one of our sisters. I hoped that you would open your eyes, as you haven't before. It pains me to see your existence do disservice to our very kind. Now that you have seen what you could and should be, perhaps you can still change yourself, dog. Sharpen your teeth and claws once more. These creatures that you bind yourself to, those human and those not, they are but shackles, slowly squeezing away that which is wild and free in you. Do not mistake my words for sympathy or pity. I would see you gone from this place.
Oh, damn.
But so long as you remain, your presence is an eyesore. It pains me to witness. Thus, I will do what I must to cure it, as unpleasant a task as it may be.
Who is this voice actor? It sounds so familiar. Hold on. We gotta find out. Voice actors in Please Be Happy game. Excuse me. Who's gonna rock with Janine? Don't mind me. Oh, we don't know her name though. Hold on. I gotta look it up. We could probably like continue the story, but no. Is it? It's saying that's Miho. No, Miho is not the silver fox. that even if you type in white, it's gonna be Miho. Okay, so I have to type in mysterious fox. Mysterious. Do they have a name? It's still saying Miho. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to continue then until we find a name for her.
You will never be one of them, no matter how much you might crave it. Better to embrace what you are and can be. Anything else is a waste of your abilities.
She studies me for a moment longer and then turns away. I feel like I should say something, but I can't find the words. Whether from shock or fear, I'm too dazed to so much as stammer out a denial. Her clothes melt away into silver fur as she transforms back into a fox. I reach out to stop her, but she flits off and disappears into the darkness without a moment's hesitation. The world around me rushes back in, my skin suddenly feeling cold in the night air. The rush of emotions going through my head evaporates, and the adrenaline that was running through me ebbs away. I'm left with just standing there alone. Closing my eyes, I muster the strength that I haven't tapped into in weeks. My beads form itself as I transform, my body following the same motions as the other Gumihos. Yeah, she doesn't even... Oh, I guess she kind of does look so, like... she looks more like gray. Like a brownish gray fox. Excuse me. I tried to start chasing her, but my first steps on 4 legs are shaky. I've grown unfamiliar with this form, almost stumbling over just trying to move. Maybe there's a bit of truth in what she said. I take a few more steps towards the bush. Wait, what? I take a few more steps towards the brush. The brush, but soon give up. Even if I caught up with her, what would I say? What would I do? I'd only make a fool of myself. There's a scent on the wind that I couldn't notice as a human, but it is unmissable as a fox. I recognize it immediately, from a long time ago, on one of my first mornings here, when I first woke from my den near the mountain and stepped outside. I knew that someone had been there. It was her. She really was following me from the beginning. For a long moment I watched the place where she disappeared, then I transformed back. I don't really feel like a fox right now. I don't know what I'm feeling. Some of what she said is true. I haven't used any of my talents in a long, long time. My clumsiness when I'm in my fox form, my own original body, is a reminder of that. But as for degrading myself for the sake of others, that doesn't feel true. I spent my entire life living free and for only myself. It's always been my choice to remain here. Excuse me. And to not be forgotten. So why do her words sting so much? If I was totally confident in my decision, then they shouldn't bother me, right? Maybe I've forgotten more of myself than I know. The painting at the museum and the other Gumiho herself both prove that there's something different about me. Something that must come easily to everyone else. The same way all the aspects of daily life at home don't come easily to me either. I feel disconnected, torn between 2 worlds that I barely know, but I can't help being drawn to. Where do I fit in? Where do I belong? I know that Julia and Aspen would say, but does that make it true? Their home hasn't been my home for long. I've been a thief and a liar for so much longer than I've been, whatever I am now. Without anything else to gain here, I slowly start to make my way back home again. The excitement I felt about telling Juliet and Aspen everything I found at the museum has vanished. It'll have to wait for another time. After a quiet walk through the empty streets to the library, I quietly slink inside, trying to keep Juliet from noticing. I just don't feel like talking right now. It seems to work. I can hear her bustling around somewhere, but she doesn't call out to me when I come in. Without a word, I ascend the stairs to my room as quickly and quietly as I can, and climb under the covers. It's far too early to go to bed, but I don't know what else to do. If I'm awake, my thoughts will only be a bother. Better to sleep it off and hope that I feel better in the morning. Damn. Yesterday's events, both good and bad, linger in my mind, while I perform my usual routine of tossing and turning in bed before I get up. Now that the shock's worn off, I feel a little better about what's happened. I wonder if I'll have forgotten all about the other Gumiho by the end of today. In fact, now that I think about it, it's possible I had met the other Gumiho before and just forgot about them. Everyone forgets meeting me, so maybe it works in reverse too. Rather than dwell on that idea, I chose to ignore it. There's no way to know. I just drive myself crazy wondering. Instead, I keep myself busy by making myself more presentable for work. Heading into the bathroom, I clean myself up using the soaps and shampoos given to me by Juliet. She's helped me so much ever since I started working here. Looking into the mirror for one final check before I head downstairs for breakfast, I can't help but think of what the other Gumiho said, how I've domesticated myself. My spotless face looks back at me, framed by fluffy and pampered hair. I can't deny that I've let myself be spoiled by others, content to just go along for the ride.
Snap out of it, Miho.
I lightly pat my face like I've seen Aspen do sometimes when she's getting ready to start her own job. I'm not sure what it's supposed to accomplish, but it makes me feel a bit more confident. Heading downstairs, I'm treated to the familiar scent of fresh cut fruit and frying eggs, as well as pleasant sound of Aspen and Juliet chatting about books. When I enter the kitchen, I'm greeted with 2 smiles.
Morning, Miho. Good morning.
Good morning. Breakfast will be ready soon.
Cool.
I slide into my usual spot at the table and grab some apple slices, munching of those while waiting for the other 2 to go back to their conversation. Instead, both of them look at me expectantly.
So, how'd it go? The museum? Of course. What else?
Was everything all right? When I didn't hear from you last night, I was fearing the worst.
Oh, nah. It was fine. They even had what I was looking for. There were some more scrolls by my person.
There's a loud clatter as Aspen drops her fork in surprise. Even Juliet's eyes go wide with genuine shock.
There were?
Are you sure it was them? Yep, definitely. I'd recognize that style anywhere. I learned a lot about them. Their name is Chongyin, and they're a scholar. I don't know what they study, though. The museum person didn't say.
For a long moment, there's silence, other than the sound of eggs sizzling in the pan. Both my friends just stare at me, dumbstruck.
What are those looks for?
You seem awfully calm. I assumed you must not have found anything, or you'd have been back immediately.
Yeah, well, there was some other stuff that happened too. I'll tell you about it some other time.
It's tempting to tell them about the Gumiho, if only because I know they'd reassure me about everything she said. But that's why I can't tell them. Not yet, in a way. I'd just be proving her right.
Well, alright.
We'll be here whenever you need us.
Thanks. Is breakfast ready?
Yes, just now. Here you go.
Juliet fills our plates and takes her seat, and we all dig in. It's a quieter meal than usual, with only the sounds of chewing and silverware scraping against the dishes. I feel like Aspen and Juliet are having a conversation in their silence. Of course they expect more from me. I'd expect more from me too. And right after leaving the museum, I was that excited. I am still excited, of course. It's just been tempered a little. I still plan to ask Aspen and Juliet to help me get in touch with Jiang Yin, but I still want to wait until I can do it with a clear head. Once everyone's finished eating, I gather up the dirty dishes and take them to the sink. while Juliet washes the pans and Aspen wipes down the tables. Another routine
I'll
morning.
see you two later. Thanks for breakfast.
My pleasure, as always.
Bye!
With that, Aspen politely takes her leave and heads out the door. Juliet and I go to the library, ready to start the day, or end it in her case. I head to my spot behind the front desk and begin getting everything ready. The checkout sheets, my pens and pencils, my study materials, and so on.
Are you all set, Miho?
Yep, I've got everything I need.
Wonderful. Well, I'll leave you to it then. Have a good day.
You too. Sleep well.
From the way Juliet lingers halfway between me and the stairs, I can tell she wants to say or ask something else. She thinks better of it, simply giving me a smile before heading up to her room. I whistle while I throw open the curtains and unlock the door. By the time I've returned to the counter, ready for the first patrons to arrive, I even manage a light melody. I've been practicing my whistling a lot lately, as a way to spend time while alone. Aspen tried to show me how, but she's not very good at it either. I am pretty sure I am already better than she is. The sound of it reminds me of the birds back in my home forest. Before long, patrons start to arrive, and I soon have a list of things to do. Books to check in and out, books to return, books to search for. It keeps me good and busy. The hours pass by in blissful normalness, and I don't have a single thing to complain about. Oh, nice. Is there anyone we could hang out with? No, it doesn't seem like it. Seems like we could just do whatever we want. So, what if we go... Yeah, what if we go to... I wonder if, like... Oops. What is this? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Return. Go to the log. Let me save. Yes. Let's go to the Bell House Cafe. I noticed from pictures all around the cafe that they're advertising some kind of new drink that has bananas and chocolate in it. Feeling a little burnt out on my usual, I decided to be adventurous. Oh, can I get, that one? I point at the one of the advertising picture by the counter. Employee, oh, the banana slamma frappe-orama? Jesus Christ. The employee grimaces a little while she says it, as if embarrassed to have even utter it at all. She quickly adds, the names is a work in progress. Aspen asked me what I wanted to name the new frappe, and it was all I could think of on the spot. I'm really sorry. That's crazy. I don't know what apologizing to me will really do. I just kind of smile and shrug, handing her my money. Needless to say, the next time I visit the Bell House, all the signs for the new drink are mysteriously gone. Damn. It's a rainy Thursday morning, and the library is dead as I've ever seen it. Even Aspen didn't come by this morning, simply because she didn't want to get soaked. We'll see each other later instead. The only patrons here are the ones who don't mind the weather, so have to make sure they don't drip on any of the books. Before she went to bed for the day, Juliet left a bundle of towels through the door for anyone who needs one. At least it makes my work easier, and the slow day means I have extra time to study. I am able to remember most of the letters by now, and even read a few words. I haven't told Juliet or Aspen about my progress, because I want to surprise them with it later. After an hour or so, I set aside my pencil and gaze out the window with my chin resting on my palm.
Huh. It stopped.
It's still cloudy outside, but the worst of the rain seems to be over. I get up and walk to the window, looking around at the soggy view. Ew. I leap backwards in surprise as something suddenly splats against the glass in front of me. Oh. At first it looks like a puddle of water that's stuck to the window, but it starts to wiggle. Oh. I stare in confusion as a pitiful looking face forms in the middle, then frowns at me. Suddenly it hits me that what I'm looking at This must be a water elemental. I've never seen one for myself before now. They usually hang out in rivers or lakes, but I've heard they'll sometimes come out into dry land when it's rainy. That must be what this one did. Now that it's stopped raining, though.
No, you could dry up.
Just like a fire elemental can die if the flames go out, a water elemental like this could be in trouble if it doesn't stay wet. The weather might still be damp, but the sun is starting to poke through the clouds.
Wait right there. I'll go find something.
I don't know if it can understand me or even hear me at all, but I wave at the window and hold up one finger to try to show it that I'll be right back. After a quick peek to make sure there's no patrons waiting, I hurry to the kitchen and dig through the cabinets, hoping to find a pot or something that's big enough. The biggest one Julia has is the one she used to make pasta, and even that might be too small. Plus, I'm not sure she wants a taste of water elemental to be there every time she tries to make spaghetti.
Where else?
I could just wake Julia up and ask her, but I should really try to solve this myself before bothering her. Instead, I just start hunting through the other rooms for something that might help. There's nothing in the bathroom, nor in the library area. When I check the dining room a second time, however, I notice a big bowl on top of a shelf that I hadn't seen before.
Perfect.
I have to stand on one of the chairs to reach it, but I grab the bowl and fill it half full with tap water before hurrying back to the window. The elemental's still stuck there like a very sad bumper sticker. It already looks a little smaller, but it ripples with excitement when it sees me, its frown shifting into a watery smile. I head out the front door and skip around to the window, squelching through the wet grass as I
Here
go.
you Come on.
Holding the bowl up to the window, I gently brush the elemental in. To my surprise, it doesn't feel like touching regular water. Instead, it's thicker and a bit sticky, like jelly. Excuse me. Oh. The elemental starts to slide into the bowl and bubbles, which I hope is a good sign. It doesn't mix with the water in the bowl, but instead kind of hovers, with water both above and below it. When it gets itself fully into the bowl, it almost fills it up. The water sloshes over the edge and onto my hands, leaving the bowl almost dry, except for the elemental itself. Oh boy, I have the hiccups now. The bubble stops, and an uncertain-looking face peers at me from the bottom.
All right. Let's get you inside and figure something else out.
I hold the bowl as steady as I can, and try not to spill any more as I go back into the library. Just like the guests at the library, I have to make sure not to get any of the books wet. Good lord. It's gonna be a hiccupy stream. I'm so sorry. There's an empty side table near one of the reading chairs, so I set the bowl down. The elemental seems fine for now, but it looks worried again. It reminds me a lot of Aspen.
I'm not sure what else to try.
I rack my brain trying to think of something I might have missed in the bathroom or kitchen.
Wait! That bathroom! That's it!
Kneeling down in front of the bowl, I try to reassure the elemental, which is doing its best to stay absolutely still and not slosh.
Okay, don't go anywhere. If you even can.
Running to the bathroom, I plugged up the bath and set the faucet to max.
This ought to work for a bit.
Leaving the water running, I go back and retrieve the bowled elemental. This time I end up spilling more of the water, but luckily it only hits the ground. The tub is about half full by the time we get back, which should be perfect. I turn the faucet off the faucet and carefully pour the elemental
How's
in.
that?
There's a steam of excited bubbles.
Cool. Sit tight, and I'll find something we can use to get you back to the river.
More bubbles. Quickly, but not in as big as a rush as before, I will go resume my search on the second floor. Because this place is so big, there are still a few rooms that I've never seen. I'm pretty sure Juliet wouldn't mind me going in since I'm trying to help someone out. The first room that I try is a closet, still filled with towels and bedsheets and laundry and stuff. The room after is locked.
That's weird.
I tried the knob again in case it was just
Nope,
stuck.
definitely locked.
I wonder what's in there. I never paid much attention to that door before, since it's so far from my room. I drop to all fours and try to see under the door, but it's too narrow to see anything. Another nearby door isn't locked, and even better, is in a closet. Aside from the doorway, which isn't particularly bright, it's pitch black when I step inside. I flick on the light switch, but the bulb fizzles and dies right away. It only takes a moment for my eyes to adjust to the darkness, and what had at first been just a dark smudges turned out to be a bunch of boxes and assorted junk. A storage room. The whole place is covered in dust. I guess Juliet doesn't come in here either. Peeking into one of the boxes, it's filled with old kids' toys, like dolls and stuffed animals. Another one has some folded up clothes. Just as I'm about to give up and try another room, a half-covered object in the corner catches my eye. A heavy blanket is dropped over a glass box, which is full of more random junk. I haul it all out and remove the blanket, smiling at my find. It's a big fish tank, just like the ones I saw at the museum. After turning it over to shake out as much of the dust and debris as I can, I triumphantly take the tank to the kitchen sink to rinse it out before hauling it to the bathroom.
Look what I found.
When I sink the tank on the edge of the tub, the elemental floats up to the top of the bath and ripples. It takes some maneuvering to hold the tank under the faucet, but eventually I'm able to figure it out and fill it up. Then I use the bowl from before to scoop up the elemental and dump it into the tank.
Perfect, right?
More ripples and bubbles.
Okay,
Ugh.
let's get you to the river.
I wrap my arms around the fish tank and lift. I nearly tear my arms off.
That's heavy.
I didn't notice when I was just getting the tank set up, but with all the water in it, it weighs a ton. It's way too heavy for me to carry to the front door, much less all the way to the river.
This could be a problem.
It had seemed so perfect, so lucky. Even after dumping out some of the water, I still can't carry it. Sitting down on the tile floor, I sigh. The elemental floats dejectedly.
Miho, what's going on? I heard the sinks and bathtub running.
Julia is standing in the doorway as I look up, wearing a look of concern on her face.
Hey! It was raining earlier, right? Well, there was this water elemental in the window. I tried to bring it inside so it wouldn't dry up while I worked out how to get it back to the river, but now I can't carry this huge fish tank that I found.
A fish tank? Where'd that come from?
It was in one of the storage rooms, along with a bunch of kids' stuff. I'm guessing they came from the library's children's section.
Juliet presses her lips, and I feel my heartbeats start to quicken like it always does when I'm in trouble.
Sorry if you didn't want me to go in there. I didn't know what that room was or what I was even looking for until I found the tank. I didn't look inside the locked room, though.
Juliet's frown deepens, but it doesn't look like she's angry, more like she's sad.
No need to apologize. You've done nothing wrong. Although...
I wait for her to finish her sentence, but it doesn't happen.
Although...
Never mind. It's nothing. Let's focus on helping our friend here first.
She reaches into the tank and scoops a handful of the water before dripping it back into the floating elemental. The creature seems to enjoy it as far as I can tell.
Any ideas?
An idea comes to mind. after you mentioned that storage room. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I sit back and relax as Juliet departs. I'm glad she didn't get upset after all, but something was definitely bugging her. I wonder what it was. After a couple of minutes, I pick up the sound of something rolling about down the stairs. I stand up and poke my head out the door and spot Juliet pulling a red wagon behind her. It had a rope handle and isn't very large, but should have more than enough space for the tank.
Whoa, you're a genius!
With a smile, Juliet parks the wagon next to the bathtub.
As I said, you were the one who gave me the idea. Would you mind helping me lift it onto the wagon?
Sure.
We each take one end and carefully move the tank. Juliet also brought a number of tight straps to help keep it in place. Once it's all set up, the elemental is safe and secure. I kneel down to get my face level with the glass.
How do you like that?
This time the elemental shifts into a biggest grin I've seen.
Looks like we've got a winner.
Wonderful. If I watch the library, would you mind taking it back home? You're welcome to borrow an umbrella.
No problem. Be back soon.
Taking a towel and umbrella for myself from the front door, I head to the elemental. I lead the elemental outside and onto the path. It's cloudy out and more gray than blue, but at least it's not raining right now. Still, I don't want to waste any time.
Is anywhere in the river okay?
The elemental bobs up
I
and
know
down.
just the place then.
The muddy path slows down the wagon a bit, but it isn't too bad. When we go downhill, I have to be careful not to let it get out of control, but other than that, it's pretty easy. From the bottom of the hill, it's not too far to spot I had in mind. I noticed a small abandoned camp into the river way back when I was still living in the woods, but it wasn't useful to me
Don't
then.
know why anyone built this place, but it sure worked out for me.
Kneeling near the bottom of the ramp, I wrapped my wagon's rope around my wrist to keep it from rolling away, then undo the straps on the tank. With both hands, I gently tilt the tank onto its side. The water and elemental spill out, flowing down the dirty concrete and into the river. The water begins to churn immediately, bubbling as if something huge is coming to the surface. A rushing sound echoes around about the empty area, before a torrent of water suddenly shoots up upward like a fountain, arcing clear over me. As I look up, I see the elemental shimmering within the water, catching the light from the sun. For one brief moment, the most beautiful, vivid rainbow I have ever seen hovers before me, so close that I could touch it. Then the water and elemental crash back into the river, and everything goes still. I smile, certain that I understand.
You're welcome.
Hooray! Okay, what if we go back to the Bell House again? An employee I don't recognize is working the counter today at the cafe. She asked for my name, but with a terse but polite smile and bags under her eyes. She must have come in early or something. I mumbled my name for her absent-mindedly and walk off to find a seat. Fairy Kiss Chiller for Mimo. Fairy Kiss Chiller for Mimo. I glance around, but everyone seems firmly situated with their drinks and phones, and not a soul stirs at the order being called. When my eyes sweep over the employee, she desperately trying to lock eyes with me. Huh? Me? I'm Mimo? Feeling a bit dazed, I take the drink from the employee, and she thanks me and nods, so this is my drink after all. I look at the unfamiliar letters on my cup that most assuredly says Mimo. Mimo. That's a new one. All day it's been showering on and off, raindrops still pattering on the roof even now. At least the frogs outside are comfortable, happily croaking away in the dark night. To stave off the cold, I kept a warm blanket wrapped around me while sitting up and watching TV. I don't really understand all the complicated things the presenters are talking about, but it's interesting to see their reports from all around the world. My ears pick up as I hear someone walking up to the door. A series of 3 knocks gently ringing out against it. Always 3, from Juliet.
Yeah?
Oh, she's wearing a different outfit this time.
I'm making some tea. Would you care to join me? I can make some hot chocolate as well.
Sure. Be right down.
A warm drink sounds nice right now. Not wanting to leave my cozy blanket, I decide to hold it tightly around myself and waddle down to the kitchen with it. The stairs prove a little difficult, but I manage. There are already 2 mugs sitting on the table. When I arrive and the kettle is already steaming, as I take my seat, Julia pours boiling water into each cup.
You knew what I was gonna say before you even asked me, huh?
I had a feeling, yes.
She splashes my mug, she pushes my mug across the table, and my hands peek out from my blanket to cradle it. Happy for the warmth, I hold my mug for a while before tasting the steaming hot chocolate inside.
I like the hot chocolate you make even better than the stuff at the Bell House.
Why, thank you. I'm happy to hear that. Although I imagine Aspen wouldn't be.
Do you ever go there? Now that I think about it, I'm surprised we've never gone together.
We haven't. Well, why don't we change that sometime then? Perhaps we can meet Aspen for breakfast there instead. It has been a while since I've stopped by.
Sure! I've never gotten any food from there. Only drinks.
You're in for a treat then. They serve delicious pastries and sandwiches. There's a particular one that I know Aspen enjoys. Although, I can't remember what it was.
That's okay. I'm sure I'll be fine with anything they have. I can't remember the last time I tried something that I didn't like.
That must come in handy when traveling the world so much, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Can't afford to be picky when you don't know the next time you'll even have options.
Have you found a favorite food? Or type of cuisine that you most enjoy?
Not really. Most of the time I just eat junk food or leftovers. Not really anything fancy.
Understandable. If there's ever a certain dish or meal that you'd like to try, it would be my pleasure to help make that happen. Perhaps we could even learn to cook it here at home, so you could have it any time.
Sure!
I toss that onto the mental pile of, if there's ever anything that Juliet's offered me, I know she means well. But at this point, I can't remember everything she said about that. The 2 of us continue to chat for a while, and I recount the full day's events with the elemental to Juliet, wrapping up my story at the point where I came home from the river.
Oops! That reminds me. I never put away the wagon. Let me know where it goes, and I can take it upstairs when I go back to my room.
Wagon? Oh, yes. Yes, of course.
Julia quickly looks away, taking a sponge and busying herself cleaning some loose sugars off the counter, but it's obvious that something's off. I'm not sure what to do. It's so rare that Juliet's the one who seems uncomfortable. In fact, this is the only time I could think of. Other than when I first met her, of course, when I sort of tried to steal that painting.
By the way, who does all that stuff belong to? The wagon and the toys, that is. Were they part of the library children's section before or something?
No, they were personal possessions, not part of the library.
Wait, what if the lady on the picture was like her wife or something before, and they had a kid, but then they grew up and passed away? Damn.
Oh, like from when you were a kid. I'm surprised you managed to keep them for that long then.
No, Not my childhood.
Huh?
The sponge stops moving, Juliet's shoulders slumping as she gives up trying to work. I feel a little bad for making her act so oddly.
If you don't want to talk about it, that's totally fine. Sorry. I didn't know it was sensitive. I'm really, really sorry.
It's fine. You couldn't have known. Besides, perhaps it's only right that you know.
Know what?
She turns back towards me, taking a breath before she continues. Her eyes don't look at me, though. They're looking past me.
Do you remember when, several weeks ago, I told you that I met someone who changed my life? Someone who made me want to be a better person?
Yeah.
Well, her name, my daughter's name, is Cosette.
Yeah, oh Jesus. So was there no wife? Okay, so she has a daughter.
You have a daughter?
Yes, and she's been the biggest blessing in my many, many years of life. Although she's not of my own flesh and blood, she was my child.
Oh, okay. Adopted. Adopted.
I
Jeez.
found her on my doorstep one morning, tucked into a basket with a blanket and scarf around her. It was cold that morning, so very cold. When I opened my door and saw the silent bundle there, I feared that she was dead. But she was not. She was so very alive, and despite the cold, so very, very warm. She was barely a year old, if that. Yet she didn't cry. She could have been there all night for all I knew, but she never uttered a sound. I brought her inside, of course, just so she wouldn't freeze. Beyond that, I was panicked and confused. I'd never wanted a human child. I didn't even know how to raise one. To this day, I don't know why whoever abandoned her chose my doorstep to leave her on, of all places. But how wonderfully, impossibly lucky I was. Because she didn't cry, I thought she might be mute. But that wasn't the case. She had a great deal to say. And as she got older, she would talk and talk. Every word was like music, a melody to my ears only. I felt so fortunate, and so unprepared. I suddenly had the life and well-being of another in my own hands. Her future, her everything. It was a responsibility I had never asked for, and likely would have never asked for if my life hadn't changed that day. She grew and grew, from a curious baby to precocious child, then to a confident young lady, and finally to a lovely woman. I couldn't have been more proud as a mother. Every graduation, every breakup, every smile and tear changed my life. As my daughter, of course it would be true to say that I raised her, but it was mutual. She also made me into the person I am today.
Oh. Once Julia finishes speaking, I let out a breath I don't remember holding. Just as when she first started speaking, her gaze is still fixed on the empty wall somewhere above my head. Just like when Aspen gets sucked into one of her books, I can tell that Juliet's mind is somewhere else entirely.
The moment that I resolved to raise her, I made a promise to myself and to her. A promise that I would do all in my power to make the world Cosette lived and grew up in a better one that I had experienced. That I would show her how to find the beauty and the joy in all things dark and terrible. In a sense, I ceased to exist as a single person. My life was no longer my own. It was tied, forever and always, to another.
So, all those toys and things.
Yes, the treasures and mementos of another life. Of happy days filled with laughter, of scraped knees and tummy aches, of heartbreak and homecomings. I keep them there as not simply a reminder, but a tribute to those times.
Wow. I would have never guessed any of that. I never knew you were a mom.
Her gaze returns to me, to the world that we're in now. She gives a little smile, but it looks fragile.
Well, I suppose it's not something I speak of very often.
Does she live here in Wellington? Could I meet her?
Julia regards me with a strange look, similar to earlier with the elemental. It's not that she looks angry, but like she's thinking about something very hard. I stare back, not sure of what else to do or what I might have said wrong. Like always, her expression soon softens.
She is in Wellington, yes. A bit of a walk, but not too far. You can go in the morning if you'd like. It's been a little while since I have.
Sure, fine by me. I guess it is getting kind of late for a visit, huh?
It is indeed. Speaking of which, I actually have some business I must tend to myself. Will you be alright on your own, Miho?
Oh, yeah, of course. Don't worry about me.
Have a good night then. See you in the morning.
See you. I'll be ready to go first thing.
As Juliet leaves, I watch her go. It might just be me, but it seems like she left in a hurry after saying all that. Maybe she and Cosette had an argument about something, or maybe she just didn't want me to meet the other people in her life. I'm probably just imagining it. Probably her daughter might be passed away. Aw, we're probably gonna go to a grave, aren't we? The way she talks about Cosette is so differently to the way I've heard Juliet talk about anything, or anyone else. I can tell she cares a lot about her. Hopefully it'll make more sense tomorrow, after I get to meet her. Grave robbing, no. When I finally decide to head up to my room, I take the wagon back up. As promised, I have to pick it up and carry it to get it up the stairs. But fortunately it's not that heavy, even with my blanket bunched up inside. Oh hey, just realized I don't have my hiccups no more. Yay! Once I get to the second floor, I put it down and drag it to the rest of the way to the storage room. After pushing the wagon onto its empty spot, I take a proper look around, now that I know what this room actually contains. More than just toys, I also spot racks of clothes and stacks of books, and all kinds of other belongings. The whole room is pretty packed. Slowly making my way back to the door, I carefully maneuver between a rocking horse and a dollhouse, taking care not to step on anything or knock it over. Taking one last peek around before I head to my own room, I get the feeling that there's nothing missing from Cosette's childhood in there. I can't say for sure, but it certainly seems like Juliet hasn't let anything go. The morning air is fresh and crisp, the plants around us looking healthier for their drink last night. A handful of small puddles here and there are all that remains of yesterday's rain, likely to be completely dried up in a few hours. As I stand by the front door of the library, Julia walks up beside me and unfolds her parasol, bringing it over her head.
Shall we depart? It's about a 30-minute walk from here, so perhaps we'll take a ride back once we're done.
Yep. Will you be okay in the sun with that?
Yes. It's still early enough that I don't need to worry too much.
Lead on then.
Stepping out into the brilliant morning, I stretch and roll my shoulders. It's a nice day, not too cold and not too hot. As always, Juliet's steps are measured, and even as she walks, her parasol bobs with each step, making it look like she's wearing a big hat from this angle. I smile to myself as the image as I skip along beside her, Even with protection from the sun, it's rare to see Juliet out in daytime.
So, I was wondering something.
Hmm?
If your daughter lives so close, then why doesn't she come to visit more often? I've been here for a couple months now.
Hmm.
Although she clearly heard me, Juliet doesn't answer. Maybe it's too a personal question because things are tense between them. I've never seen Juliet not answer one of my questions before, so I don't push it. Juliet remains quiet as we keep walking. That isn't unusual for her, but I still feel a little awkward.
Sorry if I shouldn't have asked that.
No, it's all right. You'll see when we get there, though.
Yep, it's a grave.
Okay.
We head in a direction that I haven't explored before. We're in the same area as the gardens, but not quite the same spot. A massive green hill watches over us from one side, while trees blanket the other. After crossing a small bridge that runs over the highway, we reach another beautiful area. The concrete path we walk along is lined with bushes and flowers, and the occasional decorative lamps. There are a few houses peeking through the trees, which ring the area, but most of the field is still covered in nature.
Whoa. Are we getting close?
Yes, we're very nearly there. This is Bolton Street Park.
She's pretty lucky to live in a place like this, huh?
Miho, please, shut up.
Even as a child, Cosette had an affinity for the woods and trees.
I get that. I'll bet she would love to be able to turn into a bat or a fox.
I'm taken off guard by Juliet letting out a great laugh. I don't think I've ever seen her like this. A little giggle or rarely a chuckle from time to time, sure, but never anything so relaxed and sincere. A grin spreads over my face just watching her. Read the forest.
Yes, I think you're right about that.
There are only a handful of houses around the park, so I wonder which one is Cosette's. Time and time again, we walk on past the turns, which leads to any of them. Just as I start to wonder where it is we're going, Juliet slowly comes to a stop. The main path forks into two here. The one to our left, a well-trodden dirt path. There's a sign, but I can't quite read the writing yet.
Everything okay? We're not lost, are we?
Heavens, no.
A number of tree shades in the path that we're on, giving enough protection for Juliet to slide her parasol shut. She takes a deep, silent breath and smiles and gestures down the offshoot before us.
It's right this way. Just a little further.
Nodding, I follow again as she leads us onwards. Right away, I notice that something is a little bit off. Juliet's steps are slower and a bit more uneven, like she doesn't want to get wherever we're going. After a few minutes of walking in silence, she takes one last turn off from the path that we were on, leading me up a small hill dotted with trees. Once we reach the crest, Juliet comes to a stop. Still confused, I step up beside her.
Here we are.
Huh? I don't see... Oh.
Jesus. In the shade of one of the trees is a gray stone monument. Its edges are rough and worn from time, but it's spotlessly clean. There are others like it nearby, practically identical. Words are carved into the stone, too small for me to read easily. I've never visited before, but I realize what this place is. Damn, how many kids did she lose? I mean, if you think about it, yeah, she could potentially have so many more kids. Cosette is just the favorite one. I silently mouth the letters of the word at the top, even though I'm pretty sure I know what it's going to say. There's a C, then an O, and then an S. Cosette's grave is preserved perfectly. I'm sure Juliet wouldn't stand for anything else.
I'm... sorry. I didn't...
It's okay, Miho. I'm aware you didn't know. But I wanted you to.
She turns back to the grave, gently running a hand over the curved stone.
My beautiful, precious daughter passed away years ago. Almost 2 decades by now.
Damn.
She lived a long, full life and spent her final moments with those she loved. The last words she told me, the last words she ever said to me.
Juliet's shoulders shake without a second as I stand there helplessly. She shudders as she tries to take a deep breath.
Or that she couldn't have been happier.
What was she like?
She was so many things that it's almost impossible to answer. I think you would have liked her. I'm sure she would have loved you. She was adventurous and free, sometimes stubborn to a fault. Once her heart was set on something, there was no stopping her. Everything she did vividly, to the fullest. Even if the very laws of existence told her something was impossible, she would try anyway. She was endlessly kind, with compassion for every living thing, from the smallest insect to the largest, most ferocious beast. She saw the value in all of them.
She gives a small smile as she looks at me, even as tears well in her eyes. I gulp to try and force down my own emotions.
You should have seen her as a child. She would talk your ear off. Both of them, if you'd let her. There wasn't a single person near us who didn't know who she was. So open and free was she. That warmth and care. It was the core of her life. If she saw someone in need, she would rush to their aid. It just naturally came to her. If you or I see someone hurting, we may choose to help. For Cosette, it wasn't a choice. It was simply who she was. To know her was to adore her. Every day that went by, I was more and more proud of her. Those virtues never faded a bit. Even on her last day, she was worried for me more than anything. I promised her that I would...
Juliet sobs, dragging her hands across her face. All I can do is watch. My own emotions a storm that tosses me in all different directions. The pain in Juliet's shaky voice is enough to make my own breath tremble. But beyond that, there's something else, something eating at me that I don't want to acknowledge. Juliet turns back towards the grave, taking a couple steps closer, unfurling her parasol. She holds it over her shoulder like a shield, guarding herself against the sunlight. She's also able to stand a little straighter.
I promised her that I would live as she did, to honor her memory with kindness and with virtue and with compassion and patience for all. That I would ensure her legacy lived on in the many lives she had touched. It was only in the days that followed her passing, as I wandered lost and alone, that I truly began to understand how much she had saved my own life. The gift she gave me was something I'd never had before. Purpose. How very silly and irrelevant things such as wealth and prestige began to seem after that. Those were fleeting concepts, born as some misplaced need or desire. There was something that could be much greater, something well beyond money and power. Love. As a word, it's difficult to understand. To hear the poets speak of it, there's nothing mightier and nothing softer. Love was either everything or it was nothing. It always seemed so trite, so immature. An attempt to create meaning where there is none. And yet, I've found that the poets were right. They were so right. You and I, Miho, to be able to live on, unaffected by time's curse, must surely seem a blessing to some. But that time is meaningless without something to fill it. To those of us who walk alongside Father Time, rather than fleeing him, it's awfully lonely. When I first became a vampire, I told myself that I had no more need for humans, that I was beyond them. Now, I realize I was afraid. There's a simple contentment and joy that can only be found in experience and age, I've learned. Wisdom does not exclude humans, but to look on as once vibrant hair fades to grey, and as once strong hands soften their grips, as once treasured memories become distant, there is pain. To watch someone you love grow up is beautiful. To watch them grow old is to suffer. Cosette lived into her 80s. A good, long life for a human. Even as her flesh started to fail her, her mind never did. She was sharp as a sword and quick as a fox. For a human, there is no kinder, gentler end than that of old age. And every day, I'm thankful that Cosette was one of those lucky ones. To slip away peacefully and painlessly. As I held that soft, shaky hand for the last time, I wished desperately that I could trade places with her. I would have done anything to give her just one more day, but there was nothing to be done. Cosette passed on with no regrets, and a smile on her face. She lived as full a life as any human could live, and when she was gone, I was still there. My flesh not a day older than when I met her. It was then that I realized what a cruel gift immortality could be. What a slow, repetitive torture if I chose to let it. So for the sake of Cosette's memory, and of the promise I made, I swore that I would continue to live as I had not lived before. For virtue, for friendship, for others, for tomorrow. To die is human. To live is a privilege.
Damn. Shit was deep. With absolute clarity, the storm inside me calms as I pass through its eye. There's a sense of finality in Juliet's word, which leaves them ringing in my ears as I stumble backwards without thinking about it. To die is human. All humans, Cosette, someday Aspen, but also, even mine, my person. Understanding hits me like an arrow to the heart, and I barely notice the look of surprise on Juliet's face as I transform, turning tail and fleeing into the forest. My person, the one I've searched for my entire life, is dead too, long dead. No matter what happened after they left the forest, the nature of their human lifespan means that they lived lifetimes ago, generations ago. As they run farther and farther away, one thought echoes above the others. All this time, all these years, all these decades, they've been for nothing. I dig my claws into the earth with every step, tearing at the roots and leaves. I do know the name of the feeling pulling and tugging at me, the one that had taken over Juliet as we stood there, one I've heard of but never felt until now. Grief. Every lie, every theft, every struggle and hardship, everything. For nothing. That word swirls in my head, a dying leaf drifting towards the ground, falling, and the powerless to stop itself. Finally, I come to a stop, not even knowing where I am for how long I ran. I just stop when I lose the will to run anymore, transforming into my knees. Every decision I've ever made, every place I've ever gone, had all been service of one dream. Over time, I grew to rely on it. I didn't ever have to think or make a difficult decision for myself. Instead, it was like I had a path to follow, however long. Excuse me. But that path wasn't actually leading anywhere. All it did was take me far away and leave me on my own. Rising to my feet, I look around the area. Although the trees and slopes remind me of Mount Victoria, I don't recognize it at all. Juliet's nowhere to be seen. The sprawling sunlight means she couldn't join me here even if she wanted to. Even if she found me, I wonder if she's looking. Julia, who's always seemed so calm and put together, behind that mask she was hiding all these feelings. What else don't I know about her? What else has she been keeping to herself? Is it just more pain? An ice-cold chill runs down my spine, making me shudder as I realize something else. She must have known, too, that my person was dead. She must have figured it out right away. Yet she never told me. Aspen, too. Suddenly, every pained look or topic changed whenever I brought up Jiang-in. It makes sense. They both knew they were hiding it from me all along, this whole time, letting me go on and get my hopes up without ever stopping me or telling the truth. It was so simple, too. So obvious. If I just thought about it for a bit myself, I have realized that humans live and die much faster than my kind do. Sighing, I sit down on the grass, wrapping my arms around my knees. I mash one palm into my eyes to wipe away the tears that are there.
Stop crying, Miho.
With a few deep breaths, I manage to fight away the stinging pressure and keep myself from breaking down even more. I sigh again, once I'm certain it won't turn into a sob. Now that the initial shock was worn off, the pain in my heart has gone from sharp stab to a dull throb. Aside from the pure survival instinct, death has always been distant and faceless to me, but now I have to look it in the eye. My time with Jiang-in was short, thousands of times shorter than the time I've spent looking for them. Since then, still, it was all I had. Where do I even go from here? The sun is setting high, so Julia must have made her way home by now. She might even be waiting for me to come back. We both know I have to at some point. It's getting hotter for me too. Shakily, I rise to my feet and look around again, actually trying to get my bearings. If I have to, I can just go back in the direction I came from until I find somewhere familiar. I start walking back towards the library, since it's the only place I have to go. I may think of it as home for now, but I can't help but picture Juliet's face sobbing. Immortal or not, there has to come a time someday where we don't see each other, and that will be the end of our memories together, or at least her memories of me. The same goes for Aspen, as mortal as Cosette. Aren't I just resigning myself to feeling the pain again, someday potentially even stronger? Maybe she was right, the other Gumiho. Maybe I don't belong anywhere. By the time I get back to the library, I'm exhausted from the walk and sun. I throw open the library door and go inside, walking past my empty seat at the front desk. Juliet's nowhere to be seen, only patrons. They've always managed just fine without me, though. Plodding up to my room, I grab my blanket from my bed and wrap it around myself before I lower myself to the floor. That's when the tears hit me again, and this time I can't hold them back. Slouching onto my side, I don't even try. There's no point. As I expected, in less than a minute, there's a sound at my door. 3 knocks. Always 3.
Miho? Is that you? Are you alright?
I don't respond. I don't even know if I want to see Juliet right now. She's part of this too, after all. She pauses outside for a moment, but a few seconds later, Juliet opens the door anyway.
Miho.
The pity in her voice tells me everything I need to know. I can only imagine what I must look like. Covered in blankets and lying on the floor, I must look pathetic. Childish. It must be how I always look to her.
Miho. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Juliet trails off. Still just inside the door, I can see her legs and cane, but not her face. I can picture the concern on it though. Why does she need a cane though? Is it just for like decor? Or part of the aesthetic? Or does she actually need it though? Because it's not like the cane is her umbrella. Because like if she's using the umbrella, she obviously doesn't use the cane. But I wonder, like, you know, if it has an actual purpose, or is it just like for the fit?
Didn't mean to what?
The words came out as a growl, surprising even myself, but I can't pretend, not now. She let herself in here. She can deal with it. Her cane sways from side to side as she wrings her hand, almost knocking into a wall more than once.
For you to put things together this way, such a painful way, I wanted to...
So you did know.
I cut her off without thinking, as she confirms my suspicions. With one arm I push myself up, letting the blanket fall away from my face, as I glare daggers at Juliet.
Pardon?
Oop! Miho, don't yell at your mom. I feel like this is kind of weird now. I feel like Juliet and Miho's relationship is kind of like mom and daughter at this point.
You knew.
Slowly I rise to my feet. My head is pounding, and I can hear my blood pumping as anger rises through me, bubbling out like liquid magma.
All this time they've been dead, and you knew, didn't you? You probably knew from the first time I told you about them, right?
She stiffens, and then Juliet sighs deeply. It's all anyone ever seems to do around here.
I did, yes.
Why? Why didn't you tell me?
'Cause you're dumb and don't have common sense. It's not math. Miho is a very angsty teen. She really is. Although tears are beginning to choke my voice again, I manage to shout out my question, my accusation.
I've been looking like such an idiot. I'm already an idiot compared to you and to Aspen. Every day I'm reminded of that.
Why'd you have to say Aspen's name like that? Aspen!
But this really takes the cake, doesn't it? I've been wasting my whole entire life over something everyone else can figure out right away.
Well, whose fault is that? I'm pretty sure I would assume she would have already known that humans have a short lifespan. Considering she herself has said that she has been traveling for many centuries? Is she dumb? Like, she knew that person was a human too.
Miho, it isn't like that.
Then why? Tell me why you didn't tell me sooner. Or Aspen. She knows too, right?
Juliet nods meekly. My eyes burn and my nose is running. My face hurts in every way possible.
We didn't know how.
No how? What do you mean, no how?
I can't keep myself from shouting. I feel so stupid, so angry and so sad.
Please, Miho, try to understand. We were still just getting to know you. You barely trusted Aspen or me.
Yeah, that's true. You can't just go up to a person you just didn't know and go, hey, the person you were looking for is dead, by the way. No wonder everyone forgets Miso. She doesn't have good memory herself. That's true.
If we just told you that the person you were looking for was deceased, we didn't know how you'd take it. You might not even believe us, for one thing. Or perhaps it would give you cause to run away again. As the weeks went on, we wanted to, but it never seemed to be the right time. Neither of us wanted to be the one to, out of nowhere, bring your whole world crashing down. Not when you were trying so hard. You seemed so happy. It felt more cruel to ruin that in a way. I'm sorry, Miho. I truly am. It was wrong of me to let it go this long without saying anything, but believe me, I only hesitated out of love. Aspen and I both.
No, these two girls are right. Miho's kind of just... I'm sorry, but Miho's dumb. I can't... Her character doesn't justify herself.
We simply couldn't bring ourselves to break your heart that way.
Like, for someone who's been traveling to other countries, observing humans for centuries, you would know that humans, well, don't live that long. She clearly couldn't put 2 to 2 together. What fat lot of good that did. Juliet sniffles and I have to look away. I don't want to see her cry again. Not while I'm already like this. Stooping down to the floor, I pick my blanket up and wrap it around myself again. Even as I do, I can't help but think of how it's not really my blanket. It's Juliet's. She just lets me use it, like everything else.
Go away.
To my relief, she doesn't try to argue, doesn't even say anything else. She just nods and silently leaves the room. She really is a fucking teenager. Jesus. Go away, Mom. I'm feeling angry, Mom. I'm upset, Mom. Where? I mean, does it suck to, like, her person's gone? Absolutely. But the fact that it took her centuries to figure it out, that's sad. It's not a phase. The second the door shuts behind her, I collapse into my bed, put my pillow over my face, and succumb to my grief. My everything hurts, and when I wake up, my damp pillow still covering me, my face and head hurt from crying, and my body hurts from passing out in an uncomfortable position. I didn't even mean to fall asleep. I must have cried myself into it. The memories of yesterday don't even give me a chance to wake up before they flood my brain, pulling a groan out of me in response. I don't want to get up. I don't want to leave my bed. What's even the point? Still, I know I have to. I have to see Aspen within the next few hours, and Juliet too. Eventually. I don't know what to say, or even what I want to hear. As much as I like to avoid everything and everyone, the rational part of me knows that I can't. Instead, my magic and bead forces me to conform like always. Either get up or be forgotten. It's not really much of a choice. I squishily get dressed and wipe down my face, which is still red from crying. Then I trot downstairs to where we'd normally be having breakfast. Except it's later than usual. There's food on the table for me, but it's long since cold, and I could hear the sounds of conversation and movement. That means the library is already open. Life goes on, with or without me. I cram down the slices of cold toast and browning apple without really tasting them, just knowing that I need the nourishment. Then I wander up to the front of the library where Juliet is seated in my spot at the desk. When she notices me approaching, I can see her struggle to decide how to greet me, uncertainty plain in her eyes. I can't decide either, so I just settle for a stiff nod.
Good morning, Miho.
Her voice is awkwardly stilted. It seems out of place for Juliet. I gesture at the stack of books next to her and the half-filled checkout
You can
sheet.
go to bed. I can take over from here.
Juliet shakes her head, looking a little more confident in the motion.
No, it's all right. You're in no state to be working today. Let me handle it instead.
Really, it's fine.
A patron starts to approach the counter, a couple books in his hand. I start to reach for them, but Juliet stands up, blocking me off.
Good morning. All set to check out?
I let my hand fall to my side. The person checking out the books looks a little confused, but settles on talking to Juliet instead of me. Fine then, if she wants to, she can do it. She has that same practiced tone of voice when it comes to helping a stranger that Aspen does. Aspen calls it her customer service voice. To me, it's the same as how I'd sound when trying to deceive someone or getting something out of them. The only difference is I'm not sure I could pull mine off now, like she can. Then again, it seems like Julia must have always been good at hiding her feelings. Wordlessly, I turn around and step out from behind the desk, passing by the guests on my way out the door. From the corner of my eye, I can see Juliet watching me as I go, even as she deftly handles the checkout. The fresh air is an instant relief, and I gulp it in as I stretch out my arms, just basking in the sun for a moment. I start walking to the Bell House because I need to see Aspen before it gets too late. Fortunately, we had a late breakfast yesterday, so I have a bit more leeway than usual. I'll do my best to keep my head empty on the way there, because if I let myself think, it'll turn bad. No thoughts, head empty. So instead, I just focus on putting one foot in front of the other, and on paying the minimum amount of attention to my surroundings, just enough to get me there. Aspen herself is working the counter when I enter the cafe, and she waves eagerly when she sees me.
Oh, Miho! I was just thinking of taking my break early to come see you. Juliet said you were feeling a little under the weather this morning.
I make my way up to the register, staring blankly at the menu. I could actually read some of it if I tried, but I'm not.
I can see what she means. Are you all right?
I shrug.
Yeah, I'm fine. Let me get,
The names of the different drinks that I like all swirl around in my head, but somehow picking one feels like an impossible challenge. I wasn't actually planning to stay or get anything to drink. I just started ordering out of
whatever
habit.
you recommend.
Frowning, Aspen taps something into the machine. I reach for my wallet, but she waves a hand to stop me.
It's on me. Go sit down and I'll bring you something soon.
Thanks.
Leaving her to that, I trudge to a booth and sit down, resting my head on my arms and closing my eyes. I could have just come inside and left again as soon as Aspen saw me, but I know that I wouldn't feel any better anywhere else if I could choose to go. At least this way I could get a free drink out of it. I don't open my eyes again until I hear the sound of Aspen setting a cup down in front of me before taking a seat herself.
Thanks. Again.
Sitting up, I have a taste of whatever it is Aspen brought me. It's scalding hot and bitter.
What's in this?
Coffee! Espresso? You look like you need it.
Gingerly, I take another sip, bracing myself against the heat this time.
One of your recipes?
No, I don't know who invented it, but it's been my go-to for years when I need a pick-me-up. Don't you feel more awake now?
The aftertaste lingers in my mouth, but I drink some more anyway.
Unfortunately.
Then it's doing its job. You really do look a mess, though. Were you crying?
As soon as Aspen takes a second look at my face, I see her take on the same look of concerns as Juliet. I raise my cup to my lips again just to hide myself.
Yeah?
There's an awful scraping sound as Aspen slides her chair a little closer to mine. Taking one of my hands in hers, I pull away immediately.
Sorry, I should have asked first. What's wrong? Did I do something?
Her face starts to redden, and I already know what's coming
It's
next.
fine.
I don't know how to respond, so instead I'm opt for a question that's been lingering on
Do
my
you know
mind.
who Cosette is?
Cosette? No, I don't believe I know the name. Is she a friend of yours?
Oh,
No. Don't worry about it.
so not even Aspen knows, like, Juliet's life. I wonder if she, like, even knows that Juliet's a vampire. If Aspen doesn't know, I'm not going to be the one to tell her. Still, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest that Juliet never mentioned her before, even though the two of them are supposedly close friends. As for my human, though, may as well just get it out there. At least then, we'll all be on the same
I
page.
found out my person is dead.
Although I've been sitting with that thought for hours now, it's the first time I've said the words out loud. To my own surprise, they came out as steady as everything else. At least I don't feel like I'm going to cry.
Oh,
Finally, I glance at Aspen herself. Just like Juliet, I can see her eyes widen and mouth drop as she tries to think of something more to
And
say.
you knew, didn't you?
Her hand toys uselessly with an abandoned straw wrapper on the table.
I suspected as much, yes.
I sigh, not surprised at all. I don't even have the energy to be that upset compared to when I was dealing with Juliet.
I'm sorry,
It's okay. Juliet already said it.
Well, I'm saying it too. I'm sorry. It seems you probably didn't find out in the best way. Not that there is a best way. That was why we were afraid to tell you. We didn't know how... Actually, I'm just going to stop talking.
Really? It's fine.
I cut her off flatly before she can start over apologizing. Being apologized to makes me uncomfortable, like an itch I can't scratch. Putting my chin in my hands, I look out the window to the sunny day outside. It's as nice as it ever is
I
here.
just wish you would have told me.
How the fuck? Miho. It's annoying. That's the whole point of, like, Miho learning to be human. She can't understand how to bring shit up to people like that in those situations. Like, put Miho in everyone else's position. Like, how the fuck would she be able to actually bring that up? Like, you wouldn't know until you are in that place. In our reflection, I see Aspen nod.
If it makes you feel any better, we were going to soon. We'd already decided, but not on how. I assume Juliet told you.
More or less, yeah. She said something that made me figure it out.
I see.
Both of them just accepted my being upset so easily. Neither of them tried to argue or anything, just apologized. I'm not sure how I feel about that, just like I'm not sure if Aspen's words make me feel better or not. But also I have to ask what I'm getting out of doing this to myself, and to her, and to Juliet. Sitting here silently stewing in my emotions, what felt like burning rage last night now feels less explosive. I do wish they'd been more honest with me, but they were both just trying to be nice. It's not like I haven't done the things they were afraid of before, like run away. When that's the case, is it really okay to still be upset with them? Sorting through complicated emotions is difficult. I like when things are straightforward and I know to be sad or mad or something else. Right now, seeing how sad it's also made Julia and now Aspen doesn't make me feel better either. If nothing else, I should at least tell them how I feel, or try to do so. Closing my eyes for a beat, I make my first real decision since leaving for Cosette's grave with Juliet
Are
yesterday.
you busy tonight? I want to talk with you and Juliet. Together.
She startles at the sound of my voice. I guess she didn't expect me to say anything else.
I'll be there. Just tell me when.
I don't know yet. I have to ask Juliet, but I'll have her let you know.
Okay, that works for me.
I stand up slowly and Aspen does the same. I can tell from the way she's still fidgety and nervous, though that something's bothering her. There's a tiny pop as she snaps the paper straw wrapper in half.
Can you tell me one thing, though? Are you leaving?
She's really worried about that, isn't she? I feel a bit more confident about one thing as I shake my head.
No, I won't go anywhere.
Oh? Oh boy. It's time to have conversation time. Alright, before we have conversation time, we're going to take a little break and I will be right back. Alright, we're back and it's now time to have the chat. It's gonna have a talk about the birds and the bees. It's so serious. Oh god, where are we at the garden? After getting back to the library, I made the same request to Juliet about being able to talk together. Not only did she agree, she suggested we go somewhere else, just for a change of pace. We shared a quiet taxi ride up to the Botanic Garden, not far from Cosette's grave. Neither of us tried to talk, which suited me fine. I spent the whole ride trying to think about what I wanted to say. I imagine Juliet did the same thing. The taxi driver drops us off close to the entrance as possible, tipping his hat and thanks as Juliet pays him before driving away, leaving the two of us mostly alone. There are a few people around, but more of them are leaving than entering at this time of the evening. One of those people, a figure sitting on a bench reading, stands up and approaches us. When they step into the light, it turns out to be Aspen.
It's certainly a new feeling to be the one waiting, instead of waited for.
Hi, Aspen.
Good evening, Aspen. I hope we didn't keep you waiting for long.
No, not at all. Besides, I can hardly complain when it gives me an opportunity to catch up on some reading. I thought about exploring the gardens a little, but I wasn't sure I'd be able to find my way back out.
There are worse places to be lost, at least. Thank you for indulging my request to come here in the first place.
It was a good idea. Not to say the library's gotten boring, but...
We never really go anywhere else?
I feel better now than I did this morning, at least enough to make a couple of jokes. A lot of things still weigh heavily on my mind, but I'm determined to not just be an emotionless rock. That wouldn't help anyone.
Precisely. I've never been here before either, so I'm eager to see the gardens.
It's been a while since I've been here myself, but I believe I remember a nice spot I used to visit with.
Instead of finishing her sentence, Juliet simply begins walking. Her cane makes a steady click-click sound as it taps against the stone path. Aspen reads off some of the signs as we pass by, signs which I, of course, have never given a second glance at.
Stonebridge Gully. That sounds rather poetic. Perhaps I'll use it in a story sometime. Ah, Pine Hill Path too. Whoever named these gardens was having fun, weren't they?
Juliet seems preoccupied, not ignoring us, but not seeming to pay much attention either. She does wait while Aspen pauses to read one of the big signs that talks about the gardens. She writes a little bit in her notebook, then scurries back to us.
Sorry, one of the photos there caught my eye and I wanted to take some notes for further research. I hadn't realized there was more to this park than just this one garden.
Really? Like what?
There's an old estate for one thing. Also another garden just for native plants. There's even a cemetery not far away that's apparently part of it.
The steady rhythm of Juliet's cane misses a beat, but she keeps walking. After a short uphill stroll, we reach our destination. Oh. A small brick path shuts off from the main road, leading to an overlook covered by glass roof. There are a handful of benches around, but all of them are unoccupied. I thought we were going back to the cemetery.
Would this do?
Oh, Juliet, it's breathtaking.
Imagine Juliet proposes to Aspen. They just adopt Miho as their kid. It's like, alright, we're a family now. I dig it. I think I would enjoy more of Juliet and Aspen's conversations together compared to like having Miho. I have to agree. Aspen walks slowly to the edge of the overlook, pressing a hand against the glass as she looks out over the view. I stand beside her and do the same. We're higher up than I thought, with a good view of the rest of the botanic garden from here. I even spot the main gate, far across the same rolling green hills that I noticed a couple days ago tower over us. Though she smiles, Juliet doesn't join us, instead sitting down on one of the benches.
What do you think, Miho? How does it compare to some of the sights you've seen?
It's pretty nice. I like the view from up on Mount Victoria better, though.
Oh, it's been quite a while since I went up there. Perhaps I should see it myself sometime and compare.
You should. You can see the library from the top. I used to go up there to clear my head, before I started living at the library.
I'll be sure to invite you along, then.
She lingers for just a moment more, gazing out at the darkening sky before taking a seat on the bench across from Juliet. Only I stay standing, pacing back and forth. Despite the pleasant chatter just a moment ago, now that we are all here and settled, both Aspen and Juliet sit quietly, but expectantly waiting for me to speak first. Since I was the one who asked them to come here, it falls to me to start the conversation. But where do I even begin? I've been thinking about that all day, and I've decided that maybe I should just start at the beginning. The very beginning.
I never told you anything about my person, right? About Changin.
They both shake their heads. Taking a deep breath and clearing my throat, I close my eyes and cast my mind back to the forest all those years ago.
I was just a regular fox back then. I don't know how old I was. Foxes don't think like that. All we know about is eating snacks and lying in the sun. That was all I really did, all day long. No hobbies or jobs or responsibilities. Just existing. I knew what humans were in the same way I knew what leopards and bears were. Big and scary and something to avoid. It was rare to see one in the forest, but it happened. Most of the time, they were noisy enough that you could hear them coming from far away and hide. That was the first thing that was different about my person, Changin. I was taking a nap in one of my favorite spots, an old log that had fallen over. Changin came all the way over and sat down before they woke me up. And when they did, I panicked. I ran and hid as fast as I could. I think they were surprised too. They didn't try to catch me or stop me. Instead, they kept their distance and tossed me a little bit of the meat they were eating. I didn't trust them and didn't know why they were sharing, but it smelled pretty good. So I grabbed the food and ran away, and eventually they left. When I went back to my log the next day, Changin showed up again too. I ran away again, but they still didn't chase me and let me come back on my own. We did the same thing the next day, and the next day, and the next. Then, one day, I was in a new part of the forest. I liked wandering around even as a fox. I wasn't paying attention to where I was going, when suddenly, it felt like my leg was on fire. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I'd walked right into a trap that a hunter left. I couldn't move as much as I tried, and it's still the scariest thing that ever happened to me. I was sure I was gonna die. Finally, Changin showed up. At first, I thought they were there to finish me off. Instead, they were worried for me. They knelt down and got my foot out of the trap, and then wrapped it with a part of their shirt to stop it from bleeding. That was when I finally figured out they weren't going to hurt me. I kept going to the grove to see them, and they kept being there. I let them get close enough to touch me after that. Still, they didn't do it much. It was only to check on my leg and make sure it was healing okay. One day I went, and they were waiting like always, but they brought a lot more food than usual. And they gave it all to me, hardly eating anything themselves. After I was finished, we sat together for a while. They sat on my log, and I laid in the grass nearby. Finally, they got up like usual and set two things on the ground. One was a bag of food, the same as they had just given me. The other was a little paper scroll. They patted me on the head for the first and only time. Then, they left our grove. At the time, I didn't think that day was anything special, other than the extra snacks. But it was the last time I'd ever see them. When I came back the next day, they weren't there. I waited, just in case they were late, but they never showed up. The scroll they left and some of the food were still there. Other animals had taken a lot of the food, but they didn't want the paper. I took the scroll with me when I left. I didn't know what it was, but it was theirs, so it had to be important. My only option was to carry it in my mouth. I went back again the next day, expecting them to show up, but they never did. I don't know how many more days it took before I realized they weren't coming back. Once I did, it was all I could think about. I kept looking for them, but I couldn't find them, as much as I wanted to. I didn't even know why I wanted to see them so badly. Just that I did. While I was thinking about that, I started to choke. Something came out of nowhere and was stuck in my throat. Finally, I coughed it up. A bead. I'd never seen it before, and definitely never swallowed it. I left it and went back to my den, but it was waiting for me there too. No matter where I went, it was always waiting. So finally, I touched it with my nose. Everything after that happened so fast. 1 second I was there, just a normal fox. The next, I was in this new form, not sure how or why. Some things came to me naturally, like using my new body and walking on 2 feet, and even how to turn back into a fox. But I still thought like an animal and acted like one. I didn't know any words that I could even think with. I had to learn those, and all kinds of other human behaviors the hard way, after getting chased away from villages and strangers that I met. Over time, I learned how to hide and blend in, and steal, and just how to survive. I followed Jung-in's scent all the way to the ocean. I'd never seen so much water, not even close. I had no idea how huge it was. I boarded a ship like Jung-in had, not knowing that it would take me somewhere different than the one they took. And I've been looking for them ever since.
When I open my eyes again, they're heavy with tears, but this time I don't try to hide them. I didn't mean to talk for so long, but once I started remembering, everything else just came naturally. Turning to face Aspen and Juliet, I see that they're crying too. Ugh, okay, hold on. Boo fucking who? I'm sorry, but I don't know. Her backstory, it's not a sad one compared to like Juliet's. Yes, it sucks both of them lost their loved one, but no. Personally, Miho's backstory isn't as like tearful. Now, the problem with this though is it's the fact that they didn't make us have give us a reason to care for Miho's story, honestly. Like, yes, there was the beginning scene of seeing Jong-in for saying his goodbyes to Miho, but they didn't show us the relationship that portrayed over time. So hearing Miho just retell the story instead of just seeing it, it doesn't really feel like it doesn't feel like a sad story compared to like Juliet's. What's Miso Soup's story? Is it about the stranger? Yeah. So this entire time she's been looking for her person who left her excuse me, in the forest. That's the thing though. Her story wasn't really a sad one. They're like, I don't know. That's just me personally. It doesn't feel like a sad story. I felt more sad for Juliet's story compared to Miho's. But that's just me. Maybe I'm just a jackass. But
Oh, Miho. They sound like they were a wonderful person.
I can see why you never stopped searching for them. They were truly special, weren't they?
Juliet had a daughter, buried said daughter, and it's been 20 years that she still struggles to face. Juliet wins the trauma competition. I mean, yeah, you're right. But damn. just putting it like that sounds so bad, but story-wise, no, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
They really were.
Remembering how their hand felt on my head and the softness of their touch as they inspected my leg, those thoughts hurt as much as the hunter's trap did, but also they make me smile too. I've often worried that they might have forgotten me, but I don't think they did. They only knew me as a fox before I had any magic, so their memories should have stayed intact. Those days weren't long, but they were special to me, and I hope Jeong-in too, and so I don't want to let them become painful memories. I want to smile when I think about them. Excuse me. It would have been more sad if it was Miso Soup's boyfriend or lover that she had to separate from, but oh well. The fact that it's also like, it's not someone you really build a connection with, like personally. She was just like, I guess the way we could think about it is just thinking about it as like, you know, you're at the hospital and you have a nurse who constantly sees you for like that week, right? The way Miho's story is that like this person, this traveler came to treat her and check her leg, right? I went for like a few days and then he left. That was it. And he just fed her. Like, there was no real connection to have made me feel sad for this story. There was like no build up really. And that's what's a bit disappointing.
Anyway, I'm sorry for getting so mad at you yesterday, Juliet. And for how I acted this morning with you, Aspen. I know that you both just wanted to keep me from getting hurt. But that's another thing, too. It feels like you're always looking after me, or taking care of me.
Because you're an idiot.
There are lots of things I'm still learning, but I'm not weak. I've taken care of myself for a long time, you know. So, I don't want it to be like that anymore. I want you to be honest with me from now on, both of you. Even if it's something that would make me sad or angry. I promise that I won't run away without saying anything. I won't just disappear no matter what happens. Because if we're really friends, then we should trust each other, right? That's one of the things I've learned.
Having said everything I wanted to, I finally sit down, taking a spot between the two of them, just like at breakfast every morning. For a second, the three of us sit there quietly, then Juliet begins to speak.
I hear what you say, Miho. And I agree. You're not the only one still learning things, you know? I have a long way to go to. For years, I felt it for the best to remain open, but guarded. If I maintained a comfortable distance, even from those I call my dearest friends, then I would be protecting myself. By never getting to know anyone too well, by withholding any meaningful details of my life, I thought to avoid the pain of loss again. But all I've done is keep myself from experiencing that joy of companionship again, while even causing hurt to others. I'm not too experienced when it comes to being honest to myself. Or perhaps only honest to a point. But you're right, Miho. That isn't how it should be. From here on out, I'll endeavor to be more open, more real, with both of you. For myself, and for you.
Juliet looks in our directions, but in particular at Aspen right now.
As such, Aspen, there's something that I'd like to tell you.
She begins telling Aspen about Cosette. In much the same way she told me yesterday, I sit quietly and think about what she said. Hearing Juliet describe herself reminds me of me. In the end, we've both always been running away, haven't we? Despite how perfect and put together Juliet's always seemed, she's actually been struggling just as much. She was just better at hiding it than me. As Juliet recounted the vow she made in honor of Cosette, I see Aspen is listening with rapt attention, like when she's really absorbed in one of her books. When Juliet finishes her story, both of them have to wipe their eyes. Aspen rummages around in her bag and pulls out a small pack of tissues, offering one to Juliet before nosily blowing her nose and wiping her eyes. Why would you blow your nose first and then wipe your eye after? That is a bad combo.
God, that's certainly a lot to take in. Thank you for telling me, though. Cosette sounds like she was a wonderful person, just like Johnine. I wish I could have met her.
I wish you could have as well. She would have had endless stories to recount, and I know she would have loved to share them.
As for all the other stuff, first of all, I promise, to both of you, I want us to be truly friends as well. I don't have anything quite so dramatic in my past, but I certainly know how it feels to be performative. I can hardly fault you for curating your self-image when I do the same thing. It's kind of funny, actually, and a little scary to hear you talk about Cosette and Zhongyin. Because, as someone who will one day be past tense, I often wonder about how I'll be remembered when I'm gone. Not that I expect that to be any time soon, but still, I hope that someone speaks of me just as fondly someday. There will be more than enough time for me to worry about that in the future, though. Right now, I'm glad we had this conversation. It was worth the near panic attack I had earlier, wondering what would be said tonight.
Me too. I still have a lot to think about, and I'm still sad. But I don't want to be sad forever. I know it's not what they would have wanted for me either. But I do know that I'm lucky I met you two, and that you're my friends. I want it to stay like that.
My cheeks burn from saying something like that out loud. For the first time ever, but I like saying it because it's true. Although I already made up my mind to stay, it's sitting here in the middle of the gardens that I know I made the right decision. For all the doubts I had, all the struggles, I'm thankful that it happened, and I can finally admit that to myself. Maybe it won't turn out the way I expected, but for once, I'm content with my life right now.
Well said. And don't worry, Miho. We're not going anywhere.
Even if it's not always perfect, it doesn't need to be, just like Juliet.
Oh, Miho, I'm glad too. The first time you stepped into the Bell House was one of the luckiest days of my life.
All I have to do is keep trying, like Aspen. So maybe another first time would be appropriate. Hopping up from the bench, I grab Aspen's hand and Juliet's hand and pull them to their feet too. Then spreading my arms as wide as I can, I pull them both into a hug. The image looks so weird. Miho looks so doofy in this. Miho looks like more of the vampire compared to like Juliet. Like the art style is cute, but it doesn't seem right in a way. Without hesitation, I feel them embrace me in return. From that first day at the cafe, all the way to now. It's chilly out here in the gardens, in the cool evening air, but it's warm in Aspen and Juliet's arms. And I smile to myself, and to them, and to anyone who may be watching.
Mine too.
After spending a bit more time walking around the gardens last night, Julia and I went back to the library and Aspen took a bus back to her apartment. Once we got back, I fell asleep mostly immediately, my brain finally getting some relief from all of the emotions of the last few days. In the morning, once I go downstairs for breakfast, it's pleasantly familiar. Toast, eggs, and fruit like always, and conversation about books and works and Wellington. After cleaning up, But before Aspen departs, Juliet clears her throat. Damn, Aspen never has like a day off from work.
By the way, Aspen, I do believe this weekend is a special occasion. Am I correct?
I had been trying to ignore that until now, but yes.
Wait, what? What happens this weekend?
This Friday is my birthday. A brutal reminder that, like we just discussed, time won't wait for me.
Whoa! Humans have parties for that, right? Are you gonna have a party?
No, I'm not turning 12.
How old are you turning?
Not 12?
I thought parties were a thing you got to do your whole life. That's not fair that only 12-year-olds get to have them.
It's not like that. They're just one of those things that you grow out of.
Why?
Why what?
Oh, I will be right back. Alrighty, sorry about that. I'm back.
Why do you grow out of them?
Her brow gets more creased, like she's trying to explain this as much to herself as to me.
It's just part of being an adult. You get older and older and you reach the real world and then you don't feel like having a party, I suppose. When you're young, it's exciting getting older because there's so much you can't do as a child. Once you're an adult, you realize that what you thought adult life would be like isn't real. So instead of being excited that there's cake and ice cream, you start worrying about how many calories are in each.
What's a calorie?
Oh my
Never
god.
mind.
You know, Miho has a point.
She does?
I do!
You're never too old to have fun, as you both went out of your way to remind me. 25 can be just as much a reason to celebrate as 5.
Damn. Not Juliet exposing Aspen's age.
I suppose you're right. For the record, I'm only turning 24. Thank you very much.
Damn.
Still, I'm not the partying type. Plus, I told my parents I'd go visit them this weekend. Just for a day, mind. I'll be back well before 24 hours have passed.
That's wonderful. I'm sure they'll be overjoyed to see you.
I'm sure they will be, at least for a little while. I still wouldn't want to stay for more than a weekend, even without Miho to keep in mind. Longer than that, and my mum and I would probably go crazy. I'm not leaving Welly until late Saturday evening, though. Would you mind going with me to the bus stop on that day, Miho? Just to be extra safe.
Yeah, of course.
Even without a party, would you let us treat you to dinner on Friday evening? We can go wherever you like.
That would be nice, thank you. No gifts, though. It won't be a party.
That's easy, because they wouldn't know what to get you anyway.
Oof.
Where do you want to go?
I'm not sure yet, but I'll let you two know. Maybe you can come over on Friday evening, and we'll go from there.
Come over? Where?
To my apartment? I do have my own place to live, you know. And, well, it isn't anything special, but I felt I should at least let you two see it. Only if you want to.
Of course I want to!
I mean it. It's the definition of average. I'm not even sure if it can fit 3 people.
That's crazy.
I lived in a dirt hole for most of my life. I can handle anything.
Good point. You'll feel right at home then.
I'd love to come visit as well. Thank you for the invitation.
Excuse me.
Great. I'll clean up and make sure the cats are on their best behavior. It's been quite a while since we've had company.
I can't wait!
Oh no, she's a cat lady. The 3 of us chit-chat for a little bit longer until it's time for us all to split up for the day.
Miho, do you have any plans for the day?
Not yet. Why?
I was planning to go see a movie soon. Would you like to come with me? You're more than welcome to, of course, Juliet, but I imagine it's rather late for you.
Unfortunately so. I'll be up a while longer, but I wouldn't be able to make it through an entire movie. I hope that you enjoy it, though.
I understand. Miho? It's fine if you don't want to come along, but the showing starts in an hour, so we'd need to leave soon. I prefer to get there before it's crowded.
Watch a movie with Aspen or rest at home with Juliet. We have options. So that means we gotta save. You want to overwrite and save the slot? Yes. Okay. So we're gonna select to stay at home. See what's that like. So we're gonna rest at home with Juliet.
I'm not really in the mood for a movie today, I think. Sorry, Aspen.
It's fine. Maybe another time.
Yeah, definitely.
Aspen gathers her things and departs while Juliet remains in the kitchen with me.
So, you're not gonna go to sleep yet? It's the time you usually do, right?
It is, yes. As I said, I won't be up too much longer, but I have a few tasks that I'd like to finish up.
Like what? Anything I can help with?
Looking around the library, I don't really see anything that needs to be done.
I'm afraid not, although I appreciate it. It's for my research services. You're welcome to keep me company, though, if you'd like.
Sure. I forget you do that sometimes.
Damn, bruh.
I tend to work on it at night, after you've gone to sleep. Come, let's head to my study.
I follow her up the stairs and into her office. She sits down at the desk and opens her laptop, while also moving a stack of books and papers closer to her. I walk around the room a little, examining the shelves. There aren't any bats in the corner today.
I never noticed how many books there are in here.
Although the library shelves downstairs are full, it seems like there must be just as many books in here, maybe even more. Some shelves even have more than one row of them, with stacks built in front of the stacks.
Ah, yes. Some of them are old and fragile and not suited to be handled by so many people. Others travel between the shelves down there and up here as I need them. Some aren't books per se, but essays or diaries or treaties.
Picking a book at random, I carefully remove it from the shelf and examine it. When I'm able to read the sole word on the cover, journal. When I open it, it's full of handwritten pages. I return it to its place.
And you've read all of these?
Heavens no. I don't think even I've been alive long enough for that. I've read some, of course. Others I've only skimmed through as needed. Still, others were entrusted to me for safekeeping, rather than for their academic or entertainment value.
I take a seat in the chair across from her.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It can be. There have been fewer requests as of late, but I'm honored to be entrusted with them. Whether it's a family photo album or a half-written novel, many people have memories and legacies that they'd like to preserve, but may not have the means to do so. So I hold on to them here. And over time, generations even, they're sometimes remembered and asked about, or even taken back.
Why did her audio sound so low?
Either by the person who first brought them, or by a family member seeking to learn more about an ancestor. There are hundreds of years of history in this room, and I'm not just talking about you and me.
It takes me a second to laugh. I'm not used to Juliet making jokes.
So, what exactly is it you do?
Come here. I'll show you.
Okay, now her audio is higher. I don't understand. She gestures for me to join her beside the desk, turning her computer screen so I can see it. There's a photo of a fabled person with antlers like a
This
deer's.
gentleman passed away several decades ago. Recently, I was contacted by one of his grandchildren, who was still young when it happened. He said that his grandfather once made it into one of the Wellington newspapers, and was hoping I could find the article.
Did you?
See for yourself.
She gestures to a folded newspaper lying in the stack of papers nearby. It's so old that it's begun turning yellow, and the edges are all frayed. But sure enough, there's a grainy black and white photo of the fabled man, although he's way younger in his
He had
picture.
taken first prize in a singing competition at a local fair, and his picture was featured along with a summary of the event.
I look a bit closer, it's hard to tell, but he's smiling in the photo next to a trophy.
Whoa. Can't believe you were able to find this.
I hear that rather frequently, and it's rewarding every time. In this case, I've already scanned the article and sent it to the grandson, so now I just need to return this paper to its proper place.
I walk back around to the other side of the desk and sit down again.
This one was on the simpler side, because all I had to do was peruse newspapers from that time. More complex requests that require consulting multiple sources can take me much longer.
Jeez, I had no idea. They must pay you a lot, right?
No, I don't ask for any payment. The work itself is a reward in its own right. I find it fascinating to revisit so many different pasts.
How the heck is she, like, rich then? You know, I know most vampires are, like, wealthy and all, but, like, if you don't have money coming in, where are you pulling money out of? Because libraries, like, I'm pretty sure they don't pay for the library over here. I don't know.
That sounds like Aspen talking about books. Visiting other worlds.
Yes, it's quite similar. Although Aspen much prefers fiction and novels to this sort of thing.
Maybe someday you can have a copy of her book in here too.
Yes, I hope so. Although it would deserve to be downstairs where it can be freely enjoyed by all.
That'd be nice. I hope lots of people read it when it comes out.
Juliet smiles in agreement and begins to open up books and lay out documents. I get up and browse around some more, examining all the shelves. She said I could keep her company, but watching the way she's reading so intently, going from source to source, I know I just distract her if I try. Eventually, I try to quietly slip to the door, but Juliet notices me.
Oh, are you leaving? I'm sorry, I haven't been a very good host.
It's fine. I can tell you're really busy. Thanks for showing me everything, though.
Of course. Thank you for joining me.
Anytime. You're gonna go to bed after this, right? So, I'll see you later then.
That's right. Have a great day, Miho.
You too. Good night and good luck with your work.
Waving goodbye, I step out into the hallway alone. Okay, so that is that. So we're gonna save. I think we made Juliet's the one at the bottom. Yes. So then now we're gonna load. We're gonna load that one again. And we're gonna pick Aspen. Watch a movie with Aspen.
Sure, I'll go. It's like watching a really big TV, right?
Precisely. I'm sure you'll have a great time. Have fun, both of you. I'll see you two later.
See ya!
Good night.
With that, Juliet waves goodbye and goes to bed.
Are you ready to go?
Yep, I am.
Aspen leads the way outside and down the road.
So what movie are we gonna see?
It's based off a book that I read a long time ago. I should have mentioned that it's a horror movie. That won't be a problem for you, right?
Nah, it's fine. What's a horror movie?
A scary movie. This one's about a creepy clown that terrorizes a small town.
A clown? How is that scary?
Well, he's not a regular clown, although those are frightening enough on their own. You'll just have to see, I suppose.
Alright. I didn't know you liked scary things.
I don't watch them that often, but like I said, I read the book a long time ago, so I already know what happens. It's just interesting to see how well it gets translated to the screen. If it ends up being too much for you, just let me know. Not everyone has the stomach for these sorts of films.
Okay.
The movie theater is on the same street as the Bell House, but a lot further down. It's the one that Juliet showed me before. Back then I told her that I didn't think I'd be interested in scary movies, but here I am anyways. It's not something I'd go see by myself though. Aspen pays for both of our tickets, saying I can just pay her back later. We go inside through a pair of glass doors like the ones at the
Do you
museum.
want any snacks?
Of course! What do they have?
Well, traditionally you have popcorn at the movies. They also have candy and other things too. If you'd like, we can share some popcorn.
Sounds good. I've never had popcorn from a machine like that before.
Let's change that then.
Aspen goes up to the counter and places our order, while I wait nearby. A minute later, she approaches me carrying an enormous tub of popcorn. It's at least as big as my head, ears and all. Big ass head.
Whoa, that's huge!
Considering how much they charge for it, it's only fair. Come on, let's go sit down.
I follow her down a hallway and through another door, where I finally get my first look at a movie screen.
Whoa, that's huge too!
It makes my TV look like a toy in comparison. In fact, it's probably bigger than my entire room. We go up some stairs and then sit down in one of the back rows near the middle. Aspen holds up the bucket of popcorn in her lap and grabs a handful, right as something starts to play on the screen. Immediately my ears are assaulted by blaring music and booming speech. With the sound coming from all around, I instinctively cover my ears at first.
Is it supposed to be this loud?
I have to yell just to make myself heard.
Yes, but we're not. It's like the library. These are just previews for other movies that are coming out soon. But once the real thing starts, we're not supposed to talk. Although, it's not like there are many other people around that we'd be disturbing.
She's right, we're the only people in the theater right now. This must be why she wanted to see the movie this early in the day. Eventually, I get used to the volume level. I grab a handful of popcorn from the bucket to munch on, and I'm surprised by how tasty it is.
Whoa! This?
Now I kind of want popcorn. And I have that movie theater butter popcorn too, and the butter powder. I slap my hand over my mouth to shut myself up, which makes Aspen laugh. She leans over to whisper.
It's fine. We won't bother anyone. It's just good to know for the next time you see a movie. Oh. Okay. This is really good.
We sit through a few minutes worth of previews before a movie finally begins. Aspen and I, mostly me, if I'm being honest, are almost halfway through the popcorn already. The movie gets right into action. Within the first couple minutes, the clown Aspen mentioned is already causing chaos. I thought clowns were supposed to be funny, but apparently this one didn't get the memo. I'm not bored, but I'm not exactly scared either. At one point, there's a loud bang as the evil clown jumps out of the darkness. Besides me, Aspen jumps in her seat, almost spilling the popcorn on the floor. Embarrassed, she wraps her arms tighter around it so it doesn't happen again. The movie lasts a lot longer than I expected. By the time we leave, it's almost lunchtime, although I'm too full of popcorn to be hungry. Stepping out into the sun, I notice Aspen's face is pale, and she wipes her hand on her blouse.
So, how did you like it?
It was alright. I don't think I was ever very scared, though.
That's good. I thought I would be okay since I knew what was going to happen, but it startled me a few times.
Yeah, I noticed.
At one point, she was even covering her eyes.
Well, there's a reason I don't watch those types of movies very often. I'm glad you had a nice time, though.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. Maybe next time we can see something that's easier to watch.
Finally, Aspen manages to smile.
Yes, I'd like that.
And that was it. That one seems a lot more shorter compared to Juliet's. Which, that's a little disappointing if I have to say. Okay. So, let's see. Where should we go? I guess we'll go to Tai Tai Park. Just another lazy day at the park. Maybe I'll take a walk and look out. Huh? Some kind of instinct veers me over to the side. Right as I do, something yellow whizzes past me and smacks hard across the ground. What's going on? Am I under attack? I whipped my head towards the source of the projectile to see a handful of people with rackets running towards me. Was that missile part of their game? Flustered woman. I'm so sorry. That didn't hit you, did it? Flustered man. No, I'm the one who's sorry. It was my bad serve that made her hit it like that. Miho. I have no idea what you're talking about, but your yellow thing went that way. Impressed woman. You really dodged it like a pro, I've got to say. Impressed man. Yeah, your reflexes are amazing. You should join our club. Miho, I still have no idea what you're talking about. Enjoy your yellow thing. Bye now. Disappointed man and woman. Aw. That's crazy. Okay, let's see. Where else could we go? I think we always need to stop by the Bell House. Right? Okay, no. We'll go somewhere else. We'll go to Cuba Street. It's a little hot today, so I sit in the shade of a shop awning and enjoy the small bit of air conditioning that floats out in front door every time a customer passes through. It makes me think about how funny humans are, so determined to stay in one place that they'll build entire machines to blow hot or cold air if the weather isn't to their liking. In nature, you either adapt or move on. As a fox, I love the heat. Hot weather means lots of fruits and bugs to snack on, and lying out in the brambles and letting my fur get all nice and warm. But in this form, well, it's a little less efficient, and I can't really pant the same way as a fox. Or rather, I can, but people would stare at me funny. Come to think of it, why am I even here? I'm gonna go run around as a fox for a while. Okay, up. Alright, we're going to Aspen's house now. Later in the evening, Aspen sends a message to Juliet to let her know that she's ready for us to come over, and the two of us walk down the address she gave us. Juliet leads the way, of course, since I don't know how many of the streets by name. We eventually arrive at an unremarkable-looking apartment building, just a few stories tall and without any decorations out front.
This is the place. I believe she's on the ground floor.
Not too far away, one of the doors swings open and Aspen pokes her head out to wave us over.
Miho, Juliet, over here.
Aspen!
She holds the door open with one hand while pushing something away from her feet.
No, stay back, you two.
I freeze, halfway to where she is.
What's wrong? I said, no, not you, Miho. I'm talking to the cats.
Aspen gestures for us to come inside while keeping an eye on the floor. Juliet and I hurry in, and Aspen shuts the door behind us.
Well, ta-da! Or something.
Whoa!
The entire place is just one room. Except for a small bathroom, right across the door is a tiny kitchen area with a fridge, stove, and microwave. She has a nice, cute studio apartment. Everything else is basically a bedroom. There's a dresser, a small desk with a computer, and Aspen's bed itself. Some luggage and boxes are scattered around, which I'm guessing were part of Aspen's cleanup.
I hope that was the good kind of whoa.
It's lovely, Aspen. I adore the fairy lights and plants. They make it feel very welcoming. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks. It was a good whoa, don't worry.
I didn't really have any expectations, but I'm still kind of surprised by how small it is. I figured she'd be exaggerating that part at least a bit. The decorations make it feel fitting for Aspen, though. Two pairs of green eyes peek at us from around the corner, and both cats go dashing under the bed as we step further in.
Sorry there's not more space to sit down. You can see why I don't have company over very often. You can sit on the bed if you'd like. Or the computer chair.
Oh, it's fine. I'm okay on the floor.
I take a seat with my back against the dresser while Juliet sits down on the bed as invited. Aspen ends up taking the sole chair for herself. Almost as soon as I sit down, I spring back up, remembering the occasion.
Oh yeah! Happy birthday!
Yes, happy birthday, Aspen. Here's to another wonderful year.
Thank you. This year has been pretty good, I must say.
Narrowing my eyes, I inspect Aspen, who notices and frowns at me.
Can I help you?
What? Fucking Aspen. That's her response.
You don't look any older.
Miho, you suck.
I'm glad to hear that. It doesn't just happen overnight on your birthday, though. Not that you would be aware of that, I suppose. Anyway, enough about that. Are you two hungry? We've already done everything there is to do here, I believe. Now you understand why I never have people over.
It's fine. I don't mind just sitting around. But yeah, I'm always ready to eat.
Have you decided where you want to go?
I think so. There's a seafood restaurant that isn't too far away that I enjoy, but don't go to very often. Does that work for both of you?
I'm okay with anything. I just like food.
Indeed. It's your birthday, so we'll have whatever you want.
All right. Let's get going then.
The restaurant is a bit of a walk from Aspen's apartments, but it's a nice day, so I don't mind. We end up at the pier and not too far from the museum I visited. It's not a very big place, but it's bigger than the Bell House, half of it just out over the ocean itself. We get seated right away at a long table with metal
It
stools.
sure smells fishy.
It's supposed to. That means it's fresh.
Our waiter brings 3 menus, setting one in front of each of us, and promises to come take our order out soon. Aspen and Juliet both pick up their menus and start to flip through, so I do the same.
Let me know if you need help reading anything, Miho.
Thanks.
Fortunately, there are plenty of pictures. The Bell House could learn a thing or two from here. I'm even able to ring some of the words like fish and corn, but there are others that I don't recognize at all.
What do you usually get here, Aspen?
Well, they're most well known for their crab, although it's very messy. And expensive, so I've never had it. I usually get the clam chowder or fish and chips if I want to hate myself later.
Oh. What's chowder?
It's a TV show.
It's like a thick soup.
Oh. Isn't it hard to eat clams? I've tried before, but I couldn't get past the shells.
They do that for you. No shells involved.
Whoa! That's nice of them.
I'm sure they'd be glad to hear that. Is there something you usually order when you go out to eat?
Oh, I've never been to a restaurant before. Unless you count the Bell House. Well, not as a paying customer, at least. But I know how they work because I've seen them on TV.
I hope you enjoy your first time then.
I will.
Both of you, feel free to order whatever you'd like. Don't worry about the price.
Don't worry, I wasn't.
That's fucked up, Miho. You suck. A nearby door swings open, and for a second I can see into the kitchen as another waiter comes out, carrying a big bucket. A number of spiny claws and legs poke out of it.
Wait. Is that...
They take the bucket to another table and set it down, along with a big pile of napkins.
The crab? Yes.
I watch intently, curious to see how these people are going to get past the shells.
You shouldn't stare, you know.
I ignore her. I have to know. They grab some utensils that I have never seen before and use those to crack the shells. I watch, fascinated while they do. Turning back to Aspen and Juliet, I've made up my mind.
I want that!
Clams were too hard, but I used to love eating crab. It's been a long time since I've had it, though.
It would be nice to try at least once.
Sounds like it's settled then.
Our waiter shows back up, a few glasses of water in hand, and Juliet orders for all of us. The waiter takes the menus back, saying our food should be out before too long. I sip my water and look around, enjoying the new experience.
Have you ever been here before, Juliet?
I haven't. As I'm sure you know, I don't go out to eat very often. I've been to similar restaurants before, though.
You went to the Bell House back when it first opened, didn't you? I seem to recall you telling me that once.
I did, yes. I can still remember what I had. A chai latte with a blueberry scone.
Were you working there yet?
Oh no, it was a few years before I came to Welly. Although, Regina, my boss, wants to expand. There's going to be a second location opening in a couple months. She asked me if I would consider being store manager.
Oh, wow.
Oh, congratulations! That's quite the honor.
You'd get to run the whole place?
I would still be working for her, but otherwise, yes. I haven't decided if I want to do it or not, though. It would be a lot more work and responsibility, obviously. It would take up much more of my time, too. I'm not sure if I want to put myself through that.
That's fair.
That's understandable. I do think you'd be well suited for it, though.
Yeah, you already do a lot at the other Bell House.
Thanks. Yes, it is tempting. I told her I'll think about it and give her an answer by the end of next month. The building it'll be in is already a coffee shop, so it won't take too long to convert. It all depends on some other things, really.
Like what?
Well, for one, I'd been thinking about keeping this a secret until I hear back, but I finally finished a draft of my manuscript.
Wow.
I sent it off to a few publishers to see what they think.
Oh, congratulations, Aspen. That's a stunning achievement.
Yeah! What are you gonna do with all your free time now?
Thank you. That's a good question. I'm sure I'll spend plenty of it worrying. Other than that, I will need to find some new ways to fill my day. If all goes well, then I won't have time to help out at the new store. I'm getting rather ahead of myself, though. It's only been a little over a week since I submitted it.
Oh. I hope it works out for you.
Me too.
We sit and talk about the usual stuff for maybe 15 or 20 minutes before our waiter comes out of the kitchen carrying a giant bucket like the one we saw earlier. Aspen and I both gasp as they place it on the table for us with a flourish, giving us a stack of napkins and tools like the other group.
Well, let's not just stare. Dig in!
I don't even know where to start.
I grab one of the pieces closest to me. It's hot. So hot I dropped it on my plate. Aspen does the same thing with a yelp of pain. Julia, on the other hand, seems totally unbothered as she calmly claims a portion for herself. Leaning in close, I blow on my food to try to cool it down. While I do, I watch Juliet to observe how she does it. She smiles when she notices me watching and turns her hand to give me a better view, as she uses the tool to crack the shell and get to the meat. Aspen seems to know what she's doing too. Once it's cool enough for her to handle, now I just need to give it a try. I try to mimic what I saw Juliet do, and after a moment of squeezing really hard, it finally works.
That was a lot easier than trying to use my own claws.
I should hope so.
I pile it onto my fork and take a big bite, finally getting to enjoy my prize. I feel my eyes go wide with how good it is.
Enjoying it?
Yeah!
I quickly finish the piece I was eating and then rush to grab another one. It's a lot easier to crack now that I know what I'm doing. For a while, the only sound coming from our table are those of us enjoying our food and the occasional sips of water. When our waiter comes by to give us refills, they look a little shocked at how much we've already gone through. When the bucket is finally empty, I sadly toss the shell of my last piece into the waste bag. Juliet seems to pick up on it.
Are you still hungry, Miho?
Hungry? No. Do I want to eat more? Yes. That was delicious.
Juliet glances at Aspen, who shrugs.
I could eat more.
The next time the waiter passes by, Juliet flags them down with a smile.
Could we get a second order of this, please?
It feels like it may as well be my birthday instead of Aspen's. By the time we get through the second bucket, even I can't eat anymore, and we leave the restaurant in a bit of a daze.
I don't know if I've ever been this full in my life.
Me too. I think I'm set on crab for a long time now. Thanks for dinner though, Juliet. It was wonderful.
Of course. It was my pleasure. I hope you've had a nice birthday.
I certainly have. Now, if I can make it back home, I'll call it a success. I feel like I've put on several kilos just from that meal.
Would you like me to call you a taxi?
No, it's fine. Walking some of this off will be good for me. I still have to pack and get ready for tomorrow.
I suppose Miho and I will head home as well then. Does that sound okay, Miho?
Yeah, let's just walk slow.
Still, I managed a weak wave.
Bye, Aspen. Happy birthday again.
Thank you again. Good night to you both. I'll see you two tomorrow.
Aspen trudges off, but Juliet somehow seems unfazed.
Shall we be off?
Taking a deep breath, I seal myself for the long walk home.
Yeah, let's go.
The afternoon of Aspen's departure, she's unusually quiet. Although she shows up to breakfast like normal, she barely says a word throughout the whole meal, other than things like yes please and no thanks. From the way she keeps checking her phone and messing with her face and clothes, I can tell something must be on her mind. I figure she's just antsy about her trip, so I don't bring it up or try to talk to her. Instead, Julia and I mostly chat until we're done eating and the dishes are cleaned up. The moment we're finished, Aspen perks up a little bit.
Miho, are you ready to go to the bus station?
Yeah. This way, you have as much time as possible to get back.
Precisely. Thank you.
Of course.
Before departing, Julia approaches Aspen and gives her a hug from the outside. I realize that hugs look kind of weird. People have come up with the strangest ways to show they care about each other.
Safe travels, Aspen. Let us know when you get there.
Will do. I won't have reception while traveling, but I'll send a message as soon as I'm home.
How long is your trip?
If it was by car, only a couple hours. It'll be closer to 4 by bus, though. I'll take an early one on the way back tomorrow just to be safe.
Ample reading time, it sounds like.
Oh, yes.
She jumps her fingers on a book tucked into her bag.
Patricia and I have a lot of catching up to do.
Although she's still fidgety, it seems like Aspen's remember how to speak. After spending an unusually long amount of time adjusting her skirt and hair, she finally faces me brightly.
Well, shall we be off, Miho?
Yep.
Goodbye, Aspen. Good night, Miho.
Bye.
Later.
Aspen holds the front door open for me as we exit the library.
Where exactly is the bus station?
Not too far from my apartment. We'll pass it by on the way there.
Should we stop by and say hi to the cats? I'm sure they'd love to see me.
They're going to be angry enough at me for leaving for a day. I'm not sure I want to traumatize them right before I go.
Oh, dang it. I've never gotten along with cats.
Have you known many?
Only a few. Some of the strays have some really good stories to tell.
The two of us walk along in silence for a little bit before Aspen pokes me on the shoulder. I've gotten more used to physical contact like that, but it still surprises me every time.
What's it like talking to an animal, anyway? How do you do it?
I'm not sure. It was just something that I knew how to do, like making a den. A lot of the time, you can just feel what they mean without saying it. I don't know how to put it.
No, that makes sense. There are some things that you just can't put into words, as much as you'd like to.
Exactly! I have the problem a lot. I'll bet you don't, though.
You'd lose that bet quite handily. Why, I'd say I struggle to put things into words more than anything.
Really? How? I thought you loved writing.
I do, usually, but it's not that simple. Sometimes you just can't use any old words. You have to use the right ones. And often that means going through lots and lots of the wrong ones until you find them.
I think it's easier the way animals do it.
It certainly sounds like it. I often wonder if I could talk to Percy and Byron, what they would have to say. Maybe they just complain about me not feeding them enough or something.
Do you want me to ask them?
It's tempting, but no thanks. As long as I don't know for a fact that they're saying rude things, I can convince myself that they're not. Rather like that other cat in the box.
Cats like being in boxes, so they probably wouldn't be complaining.
Not quite what I meant, but I'll take it.
For a bit, Aspen hums quietly to herself while we walk. I don't know if she knows that I can hear her. Even though she's being more chatty, there's still something that seems a little off about Aspen. I can't quite place my finger on what it is, though. At one point, she checks her phone and starts to walk a little bit quicker.
Are you looking forward to going home?
If she has to think about it, that kind of answers my question.
I am, yes. But like I said, I prefer to only do so for a day or two at a time.
'Cause of your parents?
A little. They're not really that bad, though. Mum's a worrywart and Dad isn't, so Mum feels like she needs to worry enough for both of them. It's not too bad over the phone, but when I'm there, Mum always tries to convince me to stay and move back. So I tell them they should move out here instead, and Mum goes into why they can't, and it's just tiresome.
Sounds like she cares about you a lot.
She does. And I love her too, don't get me wrong. It's more the town than them. Or rather, the lack thereof.
What do you mean?
They live in the middle of nowhere. Mum loves it out in the countryside and says she can't live without her backyard view and half a kilometre from the nearest neighbours. I, on the other hand, can't live without bookstores and coffee shops and high-speed internet.
So that's why you moved to Wellington?
That's why I moved to Wellington. It seemed like a necessity to make it as an author.
I tried to put it together, the things she's been telling me, into one big picture.
Can you only find the right words here?
Exactly. At least, that's what I thought before I came. Turns out that moving to a new city won't magically make you a better writer. Or even a writer at all. Back when I was in school, I used to daydream about what life in the big city must be like. Busy and important things happening during the day, and then nights full of excitement and sparkling wonder. Instead, it's the Bell House, and a tiny apartment the size of my living room back home. I thought if I put myself in this new environment, then I'd grow into the type of person who belonged there. I learned the hard way that places don't change who we are. Still, better to be struggling to make it in the city than doing nothing out in the boonies, I tell myself.
I think it sounds pretty nice. Peace and quiet, nothing to have to worry about.
Ugh, not you too. That's exactly what my mum says. Trust me, it sounds better hearing about it than living it. Just like Wellington. Or any city, I'd imagine. I'm sure even Wellington must seem like a bore compared to some of the places you've been to, like Shanghai or Seoul.
Well, yeah. I still like it though. Those cities are too big for me. They're noisy and loud and smell bad, and anything can be dangerous. You have to be on your guard all the time. It's not like that here. The scariest thing I've seen was a movie.
That's true. I'm glad. I'm glad you liked it enough to stay.
Me too.
We're well into the city, pretty far past Cuba Street and the Bell House. Now that I've been here once, I also recognize Te Papa, the museum, when we pass by it. By now, there wasn't much I don't recognize. I've been all over this part of Wellington enough that I could probably get from here to Mount Victoria with my eyes closed. I memorized other cities the same way when I lived there, but for the most part, once I left, I forgot about them. I'm not sure I'd ever be able to forget the streets of Wellington, though, even if I wanted to. Instead of humming, Aspen started fidgeting again as we walked, messing with her phone and purse and hat and glasses. I recognized the shops and apartment buildings from the walk to Aspen's house, so we can't be very far from the station.
Are you nervous?
Me? No. Why would I be? Do I seem nervous?
Yeah. Is it because of the bus? You don't have to worry about that. I've ridden on them lots of times and they only broke down like once.
No, it's not that. I mean, no, I'm not nervous.
Okay.
I've never seen Aspen more nervous, but I still don't push it. I can hear and smell the bus station before I see it, and when it comes into view, there are 2 or 3 buses parked or passing through. I wonder if one of them is Aspen's. We stop across the street, and she checked her phone again, then puts it away.
You're not late, are you? Oh, I could have walked faster.
No, we're right on time. It'll be here any minute now.
Cool. I'll wait with you till it arrives.
I start to cross the road but stop when I notice Aspen isn't following. Instead, she's still standing on the sidewalk, gripping the strap on her bag tightly.
Aspen?
Uh-oh, the frick's happening. I trot back to her, looking around to see if I'm missing something, but there's nothing, other than a couple of people waiting far away at the station.
Are you alright?
She blinks a couple of times and then takes a deep, deep breath before facing me. Uh-oh.
Miho, I have to tell you something.
Oh boy. The effect of her words is immediate. Thud. Thud. Like she casts a spell, my heart starts to race. Whatever she's going to say must be why she's acting so weird all afternoon. Is it something bad? Is she not going to come back after all? Oh boy. Is either she's actually never coming back again, or she's confessing and giving Miho the time to think about it before she comes back. The decision, the confession, the something.
Yeah?
I barely managed to croak out an answer. I can't handle more heartbreak so soon.
It's something that I've been thinking about telling you for a long time. But it was one of those things where I wasn't sure how or when, because I didn't know how you'd take it.
I mean, like, it's for a few months, though, if it is, like, a crush or, like, you know, love interest. It seems like a bit too soon. Like, if it was, like, you know, a year or two that has gone by, I feel like that would have been more appropriate time-wise. But right now, I feel like it's too soon. What could it be? We just saw Juliet, so it can't be anything to do with her. Lena?
But then, after we all talked the other night, I realized that I should just say it anyway. Because no matter what, I know I would regret it more later if I didn't. Who knows how many more chances I might get?
Okay.
So I thought about it. A lot. what the right words were. And I just couldn't figure it out. So I didn't prepare. I'm just saying this, somehow, and hoping. God, I'm actually saying this, aren't I?
Her grip on her hat shifts, clutching it so tightly her knuckles are turning white. I feel frozen in place, not sure what to do or say. All I can do is stare, my heart's feeling like it's going to explode out of my chest, while she looks down at the ground. Whispering something to herself, she wrings her hat in her hands before finally looking back at me.
There's something I want you to know. Miho, I used to think that there was no way someone like you could exist. Someone who looks at the world like you do, and is honest about what you see, the good and the bad. And at the same time, someone who doesn't realize just how much she has to offer. Just how much she makes you make people happy. But here you are. Maybe meeting you used up all my luck for the rest of my life. But here you are. And I love you. And I just couldn't keep not telling you that. In case maybe you love me too.
Oh boy.
I couldn't keep just hoping and wondering and not knowing. And now that I've said it, it feels so good to have out there. I love you, Miho. I love you. At first, I wasn't sure because everything seemed too perfect and unreal. I thought that I was just letting myself get carried away like I always do. A silly little daydream, but it's true. It makes me feel silly how much already, when I think of how utterly stupid it always sounded to me when reading about love at first sight. But how could it be anything else? I don't believe in coincidence, Miho. My life was changed the moment I saw you. I just didn't know it yet. Now I do. Now we both do. I love you, Miho. It's out there, and I can't take it back.
Her words drift away into the air as we look at each other in silence. My head is TV static, buzzing, with nothing to show. Not because it's empty, are you sure about that? But because there's too much for me to process. Aspen. In love? With me. Wind whips past my face as the bus rolls by, pulling into the station. I barely notice it. Barely able to notice anything. Aspen is in love with me. I don't know what to say. But Aspen raises a finger to her lips.
Don't tell me. I said it now before I leave for a reason. Because I thought you might say that. Tomorrow, whatever it is you feel, I'll hear it then.
I look at her face for some guide on how to respond, but she just gives a smile, a weak, fragile smile. Left dumbfounded, I nod. Aspen is in love with me. Returning her hat to her head, Aspen sighs, like she just finished a hard day's work.
That's it. All I have to say, I suppose. As if that wasn't one of the most important things I've ever said in my life. That's my bus. So, I'll see you tomorrow, Miho. And no matter what, it's okay. If we just carry on being friends like normal, I'm fine with that. More than fine. I'm just glad that I took the chance to tell you.
For how nervous she was a few minutes ago, she does seem a lot calmer now. I may as well be a statue as Aspen starts to walk past me, but then she pauses.
May I give you a goodbye hug?
That much I can respond to at least.
Yeah.
We wrap our arms around each other, that weird human custom. Everything may have just changed, but she's still the same Aspen she was when we left the library. I try to listen for what she might be saying without words as she squeezes me tight. Finally, she steps away with a smile. It might be the most genuine one I've ever seen on her
Bye,
face.
Miho. Bye.
I make my way back to the library like a zombie, my feet moving without really thinking about it. Aspen's words keep replaying over and over in my head. I get them, but I can't make sense of them. There's not a sound to be heard from the empty aisles when I enter. Juliet having finished tidying up in the hour or so that passed since I left. After a quick glance around, I head towards the stairs. When I head up to the second floor, I spot a sliver of light from underneath Juliet's bedroom door. I knock, and it opens just a moment later. Juliet greets me with a calm smile at first, but the corners of her mouth falter as she looks at my face. I don't know what expression I'm making right now. I don't know what I've even feeling to begin with.
Miho? Did something happen?
Yes, something did happen.
Aspen said she's in love with me.
Oh, I see.
Julia's just like, it should have been me, not you. Juliet's not the type to be shocked easily. That's why I wanted to see her for advice. But she's even less surprised than I thought she would be.
Give me just a moment, and I'll meet you in my study.
I nod and head over there, opening the door. As I walk into the darkness, I'm met by several pairs of eyes. Just as startled as I am, several bats begin to flap their wings and noisily take flight, chittering overhead before most of them leave out the open window. The biggest one watches me for a bit longer before departing as well. By the time Julia enters the study and turns on the lamp, it's just me and her.
Sorry I scared off all your bats.
It's fine. Don't worry. I'll be back before too long.
We settled down into the same seats as last time, but Juliet behind her desk and me across from it.
So, Aspen.
Yeah. Aspen.
Damn. Why does it sound like they're about to, we need to give Aspen an intervention? I wonder what Aspen's thinking right now. Is her head as much of a mess as mine? Probably, knowing her.
We had just gotten to the bus station when she stopped and said it. She said she waited until just before she left, so she didn't have to hear my feelings until tomorrow, when she gets home.
And what are your feelings?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't ever thought about love or someone being in love with me. I don't even really know what it means. I know the word, but how does it feel? How would I know? The other day, you talked about how much you loved Cosette, and how you didn't know much about love before then. This is a different love from that, right?
She thinks to herself for a while, carefully considering her answer. I'm glad she does. At least one of us can stand back and think over this properly. Because she's not an idiot like you.
Yes and no. Of course, the bond between a parent and their child is different than that of two partners. But it comes from the same part of the heart. The part that you give away to somebody else. Love is when you care about another person so much that the feeling becomes bigger than you. When your life is more full and joyful for the presence of that person in it. I could throw out any number of cliches, but they'd be meaningless. What love means and how it feels are different for every person. To speak from my own experiences, love is like a flower. It starts as something tiny, but as it's nurtured and cared for, it grows. It reaches toward the sunlight and towards something better, and blooms into something beautiful. Not all flowers grow at the same rate, and not all flowers look the same. But wouldn't you agree that that's the joy of flowers, Miho?
I look up from the floor towards Juliet, who's watching me warmly.
I like flowers, but I've never grown one before.
The same can be said for everyone at some point. But as long as you're willing to give it the time and patience that it deserves, even the tiniest seed can become something wonderful.
Juliet must see the confusion on my face because she touches my hand gently.
You should take some time to yourself, Miho. We can talk about it later tonight, if you're ready. If you needed even more time, I'm sure Aspen would understand.
Yeah. I need to think about it. And sorry for waking you up. Or keeping you up. Whichever.
It's no trouble at all. I'm glad that you felt comfortable coming to me about this.
It was the first thing I did. Thanks, by the way. You've helped me out a lot.
Of course. It's my pleasure. It's what friends are for.
Juliet returns to bed and I go back to my room as well. I sit down on the floor, which is where I've done a lot of my best thinking lately. I lean against my bed and turn on the TV. There sure are a lot of shows and movies about love, aren't there? It's difficult to imagine that concept applying to me. I do know that I care about Aspen a lot. I like being around her. I like talking to her. I look forward to seeing her when she's not there. We're friends, but could we more than that? Excuse me. I spent a few hours stewing in my thoughts and not coming to any conclusion. Love feels like something that couldn't and shouldn't apply to me, and yet here I am. Hours pass as I consider the issue from every different angle. I end up with more questions than answers. Is it something I want? Is it something I could even do? What I choose to say to Aspen doesn't just affect me, but affects her too. No matter what, both of our lives are about to change. And no matter what, I have to make a decision. I'm sure that I'll have some doubts either way, but I can't just ignore or run away from this. So after turning it over and over in my mind, I finally make a choice. Slowly, I stand up and head downstairs. My legs feel like jelly as they carry me towards another huge moment. My hands shake, and I hold on tightly to the banister as I head down to the kitchen, where Juliet's making tea. There's a second mug set on the table, full of steaming hot chocolate.
Right on time, like always. I was just about to call for you.
I heard you get up a little while ago. I was still doing some thinking, though.
I see. So I take it that means you've made up your mind about Aspen, then?
Yeah. It wasn't easy, but I have.
Matters of the heart are rarely easy. Shall we sit?
Yeah.
We take our usual seats, the third one conspicuously empty. I take a big gulp of my hot chocolate, while Juliet takes a small sip of tea. Wiping my mouth with the back of my hand, I lean back in my chair, take a deep breath, and nod.
I've decided.
I want to try things with Aspen. I don't think I could do it. Okay, so these are our options. So now we have to save. Oof. Oh boy. I'm scared. Okay, so you know what? We've liked Aspen this entire time. It's kind of annoying the fact that honestly, the relationship between Miho and Aspen isn't like, very, I guess in a way, bondful and too quick for my opinion. Like, there aren't very many like just moments with Aspen that we could talk about. Like, not even with Juliet. Like, granted, she did spill a lot of lore for her daughter, but like, there are not too many moments where it seems like special to where you're actually developing a relationship with the characters. But since we like I personally like Aspen as a character more than Juliet, we're gonna try things with Aspen. So I want to try things with
I
Aspen.
want to try things with Aspen. I know it'll be hard, but I want to try.
I feel more sure of the words as I say them. Something about this decision feels right. I do want to try. Like Aspen said yesterday, it's out there now, and I can't take it back.
I know she's a human, and so someday it'll hurt. But I can't just always run away from things that are painful. Because if it hurts, that means it was important, doesn't it?
It certainly does. That's a wise way to think about it.
I know I don't know much about love, or how to be in love with someone. But I'm willing to learn, and try.
As I speak, I feel something stir in my heart. That feeling of excitement that pushed me forward so many times before kept me motivated in my lifelong search. Is that the feeling that could grow? I've always struggled to put a name to it. Could it be...
Trying is all anyone could ask of you, Aspen or otherwise. All you have to do is be yourself. That's who Aspen fell in love with, after all. I can't tell you how happy I am, for both of you.
As it begins to sink in, I feel a grin spreading across my face. Aspen is in love with me, and I think that maybe, just maybe, I could be in love with her too.
Thanks. I wish she was here, so I could tell her right now. Tomorrow seems so far away.
I'm certain she's thinking the same thing. Still, it is rather like her to say something so momentous and then disappear. It took quite a while for her to work up the courage to tell you.
With a wink, Juliet lifts her teacup. Blah, I'm having a stroke.
I wouldn't be surprised if she borrowed the idea from some book or another.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. And wait, you knew she was gonna tell me?
Not exactly. I've known for a long time that she held feelings for you. She never told me outright, but Aspen isn't particularly subtle.
I never noticed. But I guess I don't know what I would have been looking for either.
All that's important is that she was able to tell you how she felt, and you were able to accept those feelings. Anything along the way was but a means to the same end.
Juliet's right, not just about Aspen, but about my life in general, as she herself pointed out not that long ago. I thought it had all been for nothing, pointless ever since Xiong'an died without my knowing it, as if I'd reached a dead end myself. But that was just the end of the chapter in my life, not the whole story, as Aspen would say. I've had thought my life as I knew it was ending, and maybe that was true. On the other hand, I feel like a new life for myself is just beginning, one that isn't so solitary and lonesome. Nearly every day, I discover something new about myself, things I used to think were impossible, At least for someone like me. Maybe I'm not so different after all. I found a new place to belong and someone new to share my life with, as much of it as I can. Aspen, who's just as many different sides of me as I have of her, and who still chooses to tell me she loved me, even though she never told anyone that before. I can't wait for her to get back, so we can find out what's next together. With nothing more to really say about it until Aspen returns, Juliet and I move on to talking about other things like the library and recent events. I feel pleasantly warm, like I'm glowing. As we sit there and chat, that sensation carries me through the rest of the evening and all the way to bed, where I lie for hours. Usually I'm frustrated when the chaos of my own thoughts stop me from falling asleep, but for the first time ever, excitement rather than fear is what keeps me awake. Instead of just waiting for the day to end, I close my eyes looking forward to the dawn of tomorrow. For once, my struggle to fall asleep worked out in my favor. I sleep until later than usual the next morning, meaning I don't have to wait as long for Aspen's bus to arrive. I've barely even woken up and I'm already thinking about her. Looking up at the ceiling, I can't help but smile. I wonder if she's thinking about me too. I'm too full of nervous energy to stay in bed for too long, so I hop up and get ready in a hurry. In the kitchen, I figured Juliet must have already eaten, cleaned up, and gone to bed, because I don't see any dishes or leftover food. To my surprise, she comes downstairs just a minute after I do.
Hey! I didn't wake you up, did I?
No, not at all. Although I was upstairs, I thought I'd wait and have breakfast with you like usual.
Oh, thanks. Sorry for keeping you waiting. I kind of fell asleep late, so I slept in too.
Understandable. I'm sure you have lots on your mind.
You can say that again.
I take my seat at the table while Juliet pokes through the
Are
fridge.
you hungry for anything in particular?
Not really. Maybe something light? I don't think I can finish a big meal right now.
Chuckling, Juliet receives a couple pieces of fruit and some cheese.
Butterflies in your tummy?
Nah, I haven't eaten anything. I'm just nervous.
I'm sure I would be too, in your position. Although, Aspen did the difficult task of taking the first step. You have the luxury of being the one to respond.
That's true.
Juliet sets up a platter of slices of apples and oranges, as well as a few blocks of cheese on the table between us, and I idly munch on some fruit.
Do you want to come wait at the station with me? I'm leaving after we're done eating.
I'll pass, but thank you. The two of you will have plenty to talk about on your own, I'm sure. But I imagine I'll see you both later tonight?
Definitely.
The minutes pass by agonizingly slowly, especially after Juliet goes to bed, but eventually it's late enough for me to leave. I burst up out of my seat, forcing myself not to walk too fast. As long as I'm walking, I'm doing something. If I get there too early, I have to wait, and I hate waiting. Coming to myself, I follow the same route Aspen and I took yesterday. If I wanted to, I probably could have found a faster way, or even a longer way to kill more time. It's not worth the risk of getting lost, though. The closer I get to the station, the faster my heart races. The growing anticipation, the way I can't think about anything else, it reminds me of something I haven't experienced in ages. It reminds me of the day in the forest, towards the end of my time as a regular fox, the way I felt on the way to clearing every day to see my person. Back then it was difficult, of course, more instinct, less thinking, but it still pushed me forward. That was love, wasn't it? In my own way, just like Juliet said. Usually something like that would stop me in my tracks, but today, it just makes me smile. My good mood carries me the rest way to the bus station. I pause at the intersection where we stood yesterday when Aspen said everything. This spot will be special to me forever. I already know. I hurry across to the other side. There are a handful of other people waiting, standing or leaning against the fence. I sit down on one of the empty benches, practically buzzing with anticipation. I watch the clock as it continues to tick away, until finally the scheduled minute comes, and there's no bus. I sigh, disappointed but not too surprised, since when are buses ever exactly on time anyway? Soon the bus is a couple minutes late, and then 5 minutes, and then it gets harder and harder not to worry.
Good thing she left early.
I notice that I'm not alone. Some of the other people waiting are beginning to get agitated too. One person stands on the edge of the sidewalk, peering in the either direction. A couple others who have been waiting in the boarding zones since I got here sit down on one of the benches near me and pull out their phones. One of them taps a few times, reading something, and then groans.
Told you. Delayed. Says it right here.
Uh-oh.
Guess I owe you a tenner. It say how long?
Nope. Just says delayed due to vehicle issues.
Dread seizes me. With a shaky hand, I tap on one of the travelers on the shoulder.
Excuse me. Which bus is it that's delayed?
Ah, that'd be Route 4. You waiting for it too?
My friend's on it. I don't know which, but she was supposed to be here 10 minutes ago.
Aye. Well, probably the same one then. Bad luck, but it does happen every now and then. I hope you weren't in a hurry.
I was, actually. Do you know what they'll do? What'll happen to the people on the bus?
Well, I imagine the city will have to send someone out, figure out what's wrong, fix it, or send a replacement. I'm sure your friend will get here one way or another, but it could be hours. You might want to give them a call and find out where they are. Might be quicker for them to find their own ride home.
I vault off the bench before he even finishes speaking, dashing back the way I came.
Hey, good luck.
I barely hear him. Of all the buses to break down, of all the days for it to happen. As I run, I can't help but think about how unfair it is for anyone else in the world. A couple hour bus delays would be annoying, but that's it. But for me in Aspen, I don't even want to think about what it would be like if she forgot me. After getting back to the library in record time, I practically crash through the doors as I head upstairs. For the second day in a row, I knock on Juliet's bedroom door before having to bend over to catch my breath. It's been ages since I've run that long, and it shows. Juliet answers the door quickly.
Miho? What's wrong?
Aspen's bus still isn't here. Someone at the station said one of them broke down on the way. What if it was hers?
Wordlessly, Juliet hurries to retrieve her phone. It looks weirdly out of place in her hand as she navigates through several screens slower than Aspen would. Her face turns grim after only reading for one moment.
It seems you're right.
The confirmation just tightens the knot in my chest, and I barely manage to croak out a question.
What do we do?
How long do you have left?
2 hours. A little less.
She shouldn't be too far away. I'll try calling her.
It doesn't even ring, and instead it goes straight to voicemail. I look up at Juliet helplessly, trying to ignore the panic that'll overrun me if I let it.
She did say that she'd have poor reception en route. Here, Miho. Keep trying. I'll be back in a moment.
She hands me the phone and shows me how to use it before hurrying into her bedroom. I hit the button again, staring at the small contact photo of Aspen that Juliet has saved. It's a picture of Aspen at the breakfast table, smiling awkwardly. Her voicemail message starts again, so I cancel and try it again, and again, and again, but it's the same result every time. I end the call and start another one, for what must be the 6th or 7th time.
Juliet, is that...
My thumb is on the end button out of habit, and I barely manage to stop myself from pressing it.
Aspen!
There is a loud burst of static.
You! Aspen! It's me! Where are you?
Julia comes back, and when she hears me waiting anxiously by my side, Aspen says something again, but it's garbled by the connection.
What? I can't hear you!
King reception. Let me.
Did she curse? Did Aspen freaking curse? Oh, hi, emo. So I was sleeping because I was mad depressed after my last day of high school, right? And my workaway fell. Oh, I'm so sorry. Everything goes quiet, and for a terrible moment, I'm afraid that the call has dropped.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Instead, I nearly drop the phone when her voice comes through again, much clearer this time. So Yuri time. All right, I'll catch you up on what's happened so far. So pretty much, did you pick the Juliet one or no? We picked Aspen. So we had the option of choosing Aspen or not choosing Aspen. That was the choices. The Juliet's name wasn't an option. But pretty much, Miho figures out the person she's been looking for was dead. She had a little fid moment with Juliet, because Juliet brought her to her daughter's grave. Juliet told the story of how basically she adopted a daughter. Then the kid was abandoned at her doorstep, and her child is dead. And then pretty much Miho put two to two together that humans don't live for long, which she got mad at both Aspen and Juliet for them for them knowing that her person's dead but not saying anything to her. But in the end, they had a little 3 powwow. They talked it out and all that, and then they're all good. And now, so Aspen went on a trip to go see her parents for a day and asked Miho to walk with her to the bus stop. And before her bus arrives, Aspen pretty much confesses to Miho that, for telling her that she loves her. And before, Aspen was like, I don't need to hear your answer now. You can let me know the next day. And as of right now, we are in the next day. And the problem right now is there's, Miho's 24-hour curse. So there's a chance maybe Aspen will not hit that time limit, and there's a chance she'll forget Miho, or, we'll actually make it. So that is where we are at now. But Juliet has not confessed anything to Miho, so we don't know how Juliet fits into, the confessions, into if she loves Miho or not romantically. So we don't know anything about that. Just only Aspen right now. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Good. I can't move from this spot then. It's the only place I have service.
Where are you?
God, we're so close. I can literally see the city in the distance. Something's wrong with the bus. I don't know what. They said there's another one coming to pick us up, but I'm not sure when it's supposed to be here.
We only have 2 hours before.
I know. Trust me, I know. I was hoping the replacement would be here sooner, but that's not going to happen.
Aspen, you said you're close. Do you know where exactly?
I don't, no, but there's just the one road into the city, and I can see it. That's what I'll do, actually. I'll start walking towards the city, and hopefully I'll see the other bus on the way.
Will that work?
I don't know. I'm going to do it anyway.
Juliet and I look at each other. I wonder if she has the same thought as I do. I wonder if the curse affects physical objects, like what if her notes she has still exist. I mean, I would assume it's just memory for people. Like, like, oh, I haven't seen you in 24 hours. Like, you could have left me a note, sure, but like, this note has no meaning to me, even though if you signed it or write it or whatever. Like, I have no recollection of like what this note is for. I'll probably toss it. So I'm pretty sure if you don't remember the person, you won't remember anything along that has happened with that person, whether it's gifts or anything.
Okay, I'm coming too.
What? Coming where?
Wherever you are. You said it's just one road, right? I'll meet you on it.
You'll... Okay, I understand.
I'll be there on time. I promise.
From the other end of the line comes a very clear sound of Aspen sniffling.
Okay, I'll see you soon. As soon as I start walking, I'll probably lose reception again. I'll try to call you when I can.
Okay. Okay, I'm on my way.
The line clicks dead and I try to hand Julia her phone back, but she shakes her
Hold
head.
on to it. You can bring it back to me after you find her.
I nod. There's no time to talk about anything else.
How do I get there?
Julia pulls up a map and shows me pointing out where the library
I was
is.
going to try to find a taxi. Between traffic and everything else, I'm not sure it would be faster. It's so far away though, Miho. Are you sure you'll be alright?
I will. I have to be.
I immediately make for the stairs, pausing for just a second.
Thanks.
Thank me later. Together.
I nod and then I transform as I bolt out the front door. Foxes can't run as long as humans can, but they can run faster. As a Gumiho, maybe I can do both. Wind whips at my tail as I rush forward, channeling whatever willpower and determination I can into running. The map Julia gave me showed which roads to take to get out of the city, but I don't need roads. I run straight for the edge of town, dodging traffic, pedestrians, and more. Dogs bark as I race through their yards, and shocked people gape as I dash past them without paying any attention. I don't even know how long I run for. I just know that I don't stop. Even when my legs and chest start to ache, I keep going. A little pain now is nothing compared to what losing Aspen would be like. The buildings begin to thin out, even as traffic increases, and finally I find myself out of Wellington. Following the road, I race toward where Aspen must be. Cars and trees fly by, replacing the buildings, the street signs. There are hills and forests that I'm sure are as beautiful as everything else I've seen, but I hardly notice them all. The longer I run, the more it starts to take its toll on me. Against my will, I can feel my speed flagging, each step taking just a little more effort than the last. I'm having a stroke. I push this form to its absolute limit, and eventually it brings me to a halt. I change forms once again, gasping for air as I place my hand on my knees, trying to catch my breath. The run from the station back to the library winded me, and this was many times harder. But I can't stop moving. I have to keep going. I have to. Lungs on fire and with my legs feeling like lead, I make myself take another step, and then another. Mustering all my strength, I break into a jog, the fastest I can manage. I keep my gaze set on the horizon, hoping for a glimpse of her, anything to set my heart and mind at ease, anything. The sun begins to dip even lower, as if even the sky is reminding me that time is running out. My steps are leaden, and my mind abuzz with wordless fear and worry. At first, I don't believe my eyes when I finally spot someone walking in my direction, far off in the distance. Please, let it be her. I steadily trot is all I can do now, and I even let that slow to a normal walking pace. The other figure I will walk toward each other, but the sun shines in my face and obscures them from vision. Raising one hand to shield my eyes, I see a familiar hat, the glint of light on familiar glasses. I see Aspen running towards me. It's Pookie! All I can do is stand there, overwhelmed with relief, so intense that all I can do is shake. I made it. She's here.
Miho!
As she approaches, she's also slow, and then comes to a stop.
Miho!
I don't even know what to say. How can I respond? How can I put all the excitement, the worry, and the relief that she's made me feel in the past 24 hours into words? How do I say it? Silently, I close the distance between us. I can see her eyes searching mine, looking for an answer to the unspoken question. Overhead, the sun dips behind the cloud, done watching us for the day, and throwing a handful of colors into the sky as it leaves. I struggled to find words before, but this is a different, like Aspen said yesterday, not just any words will do. I stopped, just an arm's length from Aspen, close enough to see the glint of tears hiding in her eyes.
I'm so worried.
Her voice is barely a whisper, but I can't hear anything else. Looking up into her eyes, I'm surprised to find the answer to my own question, one that I didn't know I wanted to ask until just now, one that requires more than words, or maybe less. Oh! Whoa there! Hold up! It's so quick! I take the last step that separates us and lean forward to kiss Aspen. That was very fast. Whoa there. Hold on. I wasn't ready. Damn, they just only confessed that they love each other. Not even love each other. Honestly, Aspen is the one who confessed that she loved Miho. And the first response is to kiss her. What the frick? I'm not prepared. This doesn't seem right, in my opinion. This is very quick. But okay. Bow chicka wow wow. No, Emo, no. The marks of human affection have always seemed so strange and foreign to me, and maybe even unappealing. As I kiss her, I think I understand. Without hesitation, Aspen's hand rises to touch my face, holding me in place as if I'd want to leave. She moves like she was waiting for this. Maybe she was. It's unlike anything I've ever felt before. The closeness, the warmth. I place my own hand against her wrist. I think maybe I understand Aspen's fears better now, because I would also be content if this moment lasted forever. Even when we separated, Aspen's hands stay on my shoulders, keeping me close.
I see you thought about what I said.
I want to see Aspen with her hair down. That's what I want to see. Not them kissing, honestly, because that was too soon. Yeah, it doesn't sit right with me either. She had noted in dreams about this.
And practically nothing else.
Pulling me into a hug, Aspen rests her face against mine. She wishes nuzzly wuzzling you.
So I wasn't the only one then.
She sighs contentedly.
There's so much more I want to say, but this is hardly the place to say it now, is it?
I'd nearly forgotten where we were, not far from the side of the road. Turning around, I look back at the city, which is starting to light up for the evening.
Oh, right. It's kind of a long way home, you know.
Aspen squeezes my hand.
I have all the time in the world.
That's crazy. She doesn't, but, you know. Oh. Open ending? Chapter 4? Ayo. Okay. Do we get an achievement? We do. We got achievement. Open ending. Begin chapter 4. Aspen Route. Alright. Emo, I know you just like came in, but I've been streaming for a while, so I'm actually gonna end stream here. We're gonna save that. But hey, we have officially secured a girlfriend. That's all that matters. But what is it? If you do want to see what happened earlier, I have all the VODs up on my VOD channel, so I'll have it posted on there if you do want to see. But yeah, that is going to be it for today's stream. Hooray! We have a girlfriend. Woohoo! Anyways, yeah. Thank you so much for today's stream. Take care. See you next time, to where we'll see more Yuri action. Until then, ta-ta!